A Court of Fairies and Fiction. ACOURTOFLOVEANDHEALING Girls Podcast. Hosts Mel, Liv, Aka, and Lily. A bookish theory and discussion podcast for the ACOURT, Crescent City, and Tug series, as well as our Fable Book Club reads. Bonus episode, Fanfiction Friday with Mando.
All right, welcome everyone to the next iteration of Fanfic Friday, and I have Mandalore the Preserver with me today, and we're going to be talking about his fics specifically. If you want to go ahead and give like a little synopsis of both.
Okay. Well, so there's two fanfics to look into. There's Witch of the Woods and TIA, A Crescent City Story. Now, Witch of the Woods is probably the longest one so far chapter-wise, and probably the more popular of the two. I know a lot of people really enjoy that. So basically, it's set within ACOURT. It's set after the events of Silver Flames. It's a 2-year time jump. So in that 2 years, granted, I'm taking very much creative liberties on parts that Sarah didn't really explain.
Yeah, obviously.
Where, basically, spring is kind of, I wouldn't say in an anarchy state, but it's just like a struggling to get by. Tamlin has very much stayed as a beast.
Yeah.
And he's going around trying to make sure that all the monsters and everything that Hyper unleashed on his court, thanks to Farah, are taken care of and just gone. But he's not really making any decisions. He's not ruling. He's very much being a hands-off ruler.
Okay.
And very much looking into like how has the world changed. Now, one of the big things that happens in it, which just happens in chapter 2, he gets ambushed by a bunch of humans.
Okay.
And the weirdest thing about this is that he can't sense them. Like there's a shield around them. And this introduces my concept of blinks.
Yeah.
Which are basically magically inert individuals. Like, so think of it like this, is that these are individuals that magic either doesn't affect or fizzles out around.
Yeah.
So what happens when you put that into a concept of like what happens when there's all these very magical individuals all over the place? You know, it becomes fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
So he gets hunted. He overhears them saying like, you know, he's going to be delivered to Rysand, which he will have none of that.
Yeah.
Breaks out of there and manages to get away, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
Badly. And basically he almost consigns himself to die.
Oh,
which is where Jenny runs into him.
Oh.
Yeah, so in the prologue chapter, Jenny is just, you know, she's kind of hanging out. It's not even from her point of view. It's from a different point of view. It's from this character named Randall, who basically went to find her. She lives kind of in like the border region of like what used to be the wall.
Yeah.
Like she just kind of plunked herself there and was like, okay, this is my home now. And, you know, he's begging her for medical attention. She's kind of being like, yeah. And then it's not until he says, like, please just help them. It's like, fine, if you just asked for that first, I would have done it. So she's heading back, and her dog, who's a 2-headed dog named Argus, who's like the size of a small tank, sniffs Tamlin out, and she follows, and he's like, huh, aren't you interesting? So Tamlin wakes up in her house, and I kind of alluded to that, you know, she's not exactly from these neck of the woods, if you catch my drift. Like, she has medical equipment that we would see nowadays.
Oh.
Yeah, so kind of giving that, implying that she's not from Prithian. She's not even from the planet they're on. She might be from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you know, I do play very fast and loose with some of the characters. I try my best to keep them all in character. So like any canon characters, I try to keep like, okay, this is who they are. Let's try to work with that. ones who I make up are more like, okay, these are my characters. I can play with them as
Yeah.
much as I want. Now, one thing I did bring in is Jenny is how do I put this? So one of my biggest inspirations for any of my characters come down to One Piece and Stanley's X-Men.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jenny has this ability to control nature, basically. When I say nature, I mean like plants, flora, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And she's something known as a project.
Mm-hmm.
And projects are basically they were made to be the greatest weapons in creations, and unfortunately they succeeded.
Oh my.
Yeah, so basically they can't really be killed. There's only three things that could kill them, and that's folly, hubris, and another of their kind.
Ah.
And I'm not in when I say another of their kind, I mean literally it has to be another of their kind. It can't be
Yeah.
something as strong as them or stronger. You
Yeah.
know, it
It
literally
has to
has to be
be
some.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like they can recover from like any injury, anything that would normally kill them.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that doesn't mean pain doesn't stop hurting.
Yeah.
So even though Jenny can pretty much survive practically anything,
Yeah.
she doesn't like fire that much. Like
Understandable.
one of her biggest fears is fire.
Hmm.
Mainly because the humans in this world caught on to the fact that, for some reason she's not aging
Yeah.
and burned her at the stake 3 times.
Oh, lovely. You'd think
Because they
after
thought
the
like,
first they
huh, it
would
didn't work
learn.
it didn't work the first time. Let's try again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so she's not exactly a huge fan of fire,
Yeah.
which, when I eventually get to like Fire Knight and eventually Calamine, it's gonna be interesting
Uh,
because it's like she's like, oh, great. Does it have to be so much fire?
do you have to have bonfires?
Yeah,
Do they need to exist?
I know. Like even in her house, she has like these like light orbs. So they're basically
Yeah.
these balls that like produce light or produce heat.
Yeah.
So like she doesn't even have fire in her house. Like the only fire she might have is like a little Bunsen burner, but even
Yeah.
then, that's a very small.
It's small,
Like
it's controllable.
exactly, it's there to kind of help her like make medicine.
Yeah. It
Hmm.
has a purpose rather than, oh, great, another thing that could kill me.
Exactly, it's like oh, this isn't triggering whatsoever.
Yeah.
Hmm. And Jenny herself, when I wrote her, she was supposed to be a very anti um Moss character, I guess you
Yeah.
can say. Like she's not this like wide-eyed, bushy-tailed 19-year-old or anything. Like she's on the older side. She's like
Mm-hmm.
give or take in her 30s, pushing 40s, or at least that's how she looks. She was married before, very loving marriage prior to this. So she doesn't exactly have like the trauma that you would expect out of like Moss or even modern day females nowadays, because it always feels like they have to hate one of their parents or they had to be
Yeah.
in a loveless marriage. It's like, no, just the opposite. Like she loved both of her adopted parents very dearly. She loved her husband. So for her, she lived a life, and several in this case. So she's not exactly put off by like the trappings or anything,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Now, where I am right now with their relationship is that they are kind of realizing that they have more feelings for each other, and that is primarily through like the actions they've done for one another.
Hmm.
Like the fact that Jenny sees that Tamlin is a good man,
Yeah.
even though he himself sees himself as a monster. And she's like, you're not a monster. I've known real monsters. You're not even remotely close to one.
Yeah.
So that's where I am with at least synopsis of Witch of the Woods. Now,
Mm-hmm.
TIA, Crescent City Story, is a is a mystery. It's a crime. It's almost like a crime noir.
Yeah.
So it's set within Crescent City. Um, Major characters only kind of get briefly mentioned, or like I think Bryson Danica only shows up once so far, and I think that's how far I'm keeping it.
Hmm.
But basically, the main character is a human by the name of Cole Danton,
Yeah.
and he is something called a peacekeeper.
Hmm.
Basically, Asphodel, from what we know, is not exactly the most well-liked or well-lived in place, so
Yeah.
even the police don't like going in there. So the peacekeepers are basically their version of the police. Like they're there to kind of, keep the peace, make sure
Yeah.
that um things like riots or like armed uprisings aren't happening,
Hmm.
in order to make sure everything kind of runs smoother within
Yeah.
both Asphodel and um Crescent City as a whole. Now, the thing is that when we first meet him, he's just stopping a normal weapons runner,
Yeah.
and he's going through his day, comes back to his office, his cubicle, and he sees he's got a report on his desk that's marked as urgent,
Yeah.
and it's a Fey noble asking for his help, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" Because the beekeepers are like, to everyone else, they're basically more like armed security guards.
Yeah.
So the fact that a noble, like a Fey noble, is asking for his help is like, okay, this is weird, and basically he gets voluntold to help find this young heir of a noble family.
Yeah.
But as it goes on, he kind of gets saddled up with a liaison from the auxiliary named
Hmm.
Leon Shi, or
Yeah.
Leah in this case. Right now, I'm writing her point of view, and the two of them have to work together. Now, something you need to know about Cole is that he doesn't really like the Fae that much.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah,
Nobody
like I
should
try to
like it.
write him as a human who lives within this world,
Yeah.
but also a human who's kind of stuck with the ramifications of it.
Yeah.
So he's very, I would say he's kind of grouchy. Like, that's one of the big
Yeah.
things. It's like he's definitely a guy who just wants to do his job, come home, and just either relax or just go to a bar.
Yeah, I'd gotten a couple of chapters into both of them, and honestly, I am liking the Crescent City one a bit more.
That's fair.
Um, I mean, it's, I don't know, I think it flows similar to how the OG series did, where it's just kind of linear, but like quickly paced enough to where you're not getting too bored with details and all.
Yeah,
Um,
fair.
and honestly, I do like him as a character. He's very refreshing for a male character.
Yeah, he just, for example, one of the funnier parts I write is his relationship with Mimir. I don't know if you've met him yet.
I can't recall.
So Mimir is a sprite, um, basically a very intelligent one.
Hmm.
So intelligent that he doesn't have numbers on him. Very interesting.
Hmm.
He managed to kind of skirt around that. But because of that, he can't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
So, when you take in compared to Bryce and Liaba, the two of them are like besties. I always joke saying that, yeah, Cole and Mimir, they're like one step away from killing each other.
Yeah.
Like, he's constantly threatening to snuff him out or flush him down a toilet.
As all good banter should be.
Yeah, and one of the big problems is, well, I say problem is that he gets is that Mimir, even though he's a like extremely intelligent, kind of going
Mm-hmm.
with like the whole mythology of Mimir, the man
Yeah.
who kind of knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basically, he's 100% addicted to porn. Yeah, he he loves the idea of sex over like the action of it. So Cole always pays him like in dirty magazines or smut
That's
for
crazy.
his help. Yeah, like he even called it like an altar of smut at one point because he just has so much of it.
That, you know what? He knows what he likes.
Well, he also knows how to keep him complacent,
Yeah.
keep him happy. It's like, look, I need your help on these things. So here, here's like
Yeah.
a Playboy or whatever they have. Yeah, so like I said, Cole is very much a, let's say, again, I don't want to say anti, but he's definitely someone who the world has kind of shaped.
Yeah.
Like he grew up in Asphodel. He didn't really know his parents. He called them some man and some woman.
Yeah.
Uh, he got conscripted, as
Hmm.
part of this conscription act. In fact, the way he talks about it is like, yeah, sure, three square meals a day and a warm place to rest sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
But like all good noir films, you also have the femme fatale, which is his ex, who is a fae.
Lovely.
Yeah, in fact, which is like one of the big kind of twists in there. It's like, wait, if you don't like fae, you actually were dating one? And it's like, and you find out that things didn't, go over easy
Yeah.
because you know, she found her mate
Ah.
and didn't exactly write him a Dear John letter.
Oh, so she pulled a Farah?
Pretty much.
That's lovely.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm kind of implying that it wasn't intentional
Mm.
because of like how much of a whirlwind finding your mate is.
Yeah, and then it's kind of
Plus,
just like, oh shoot, I forgot to tell this
it,
person that I'm seeing.
also on top of that, like her family wants to make sure that the human she was seeing is
Yeah.
no longer around.
Yeah, no longer a possibility.
Yeah, like there's no longer a threat.
Yeah. Which is crazy that a human would threaten Faye.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe they have so many things to be insecure about.
I know. It's not like, wow, wait, you're allowing your females to choose who they want to love? Can't have that.
Right? Oh my gosh, women with a choice.
I know. Which is why I'm not really keen on like mate bonds and everything, because it's
Yeah.
like, wow, you just take away the
I do think it needs to be a bit more sparsely written in a lot of things nowadays.
sparsely written, and you need to really look into more nuance to it,
Yeah.
because I don't think it's terrible, but you need to think about like what happens if the bond doesn't work.
Yeah, because a lot of authors will, I mean, SJM specifically, she's writing it to where it's like, oh, as soon as we know they're mates, like that's what's gonna happen. There
Yeah,
isn't
that's Endgame.
it's a lot of theories that there might be mate rejections and things like that, but then it's like,
Oh, don't get me
yeah,
started with
but
the whole
it's
Amarantha Tamlin thing. That's disgusting.
oh, that's not even what I was thinking of. I was thinking of all the Elaine and Azriel shippers.
Yeah,
I'm very much
well,
Elaine and Lucian, but that's just because they just need to
they need to get away from
just go to
like
Daycourt,
them.
be
Go
with
to Daycord,
Helian's
go to
fine
Spring,
self,
literally go
like
anywhere.
anywhere. I'm sure that Tamlin, honestly, to veer into some theories and stuff, I'm sure that Tamlin would see Elaine and Lucian together and she'd be like, she likes to garden. She's gonna be my friend. She likes to garden. Like that's what I really hope is that he's just gonna fangirl a little bit over his best friend finding a woman who likes gardening. And then they're just
From
gonna have their own little inner circle.
I kind of want that, and also bring in the Band of Exiles because
Yes.
very healthy for Lucian to finally have kind of friends of his
Yes.
own. I
And
mean,
I
don't
like
get me,
that Jurian and
don't get me,
Vasa are chill together too. The
mhm,
two
don't get me wrong.
humans,
Like
basically.
I still say that Tamlin and Lucian are
Hmm.
great friends. Like
Yeah.
no matter what, they are friends.
But Tamlin can
Um,
pull rank on him, rather with the Band of Exiles, where it's more democratic of we're making a choice to benefit our little group rather than just one of the group.
True, but even when Tamlin has to pull rank, you can kind of see where he's coming from, where he
Yeah.
needs to, not because he wants to. Like
Yeah.
Rasan throws rank like he's uh throwing away the trash.
Yeah, he covers it with a I'm saying this as your brother or something like that, where it's very obvious, like, no, actually, you're saying it like a manipulator.
Yeah, like I always
Yeah.
say, like, it's always weird how Rasan, whatever Rasan says is a choice, is also what he wants in the end. Kind of
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, how odd is that? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, she has a choice. Funny how that benefits you.
Right? Like both options are just he's gonna figure out if it's plan A or plan B of his needs rather than what she actually wants.
Yeah, like don't even get me started. It's like, oh no, you can take your time, we can have
Yeah,
kids
have time to
later.
heal. You don't need to worry about it. But
Literally gets
also,
pregnant.
yeah,
Gets
I
pregnant like immediately.
I do not like those sudden pregnancy tropes. I
No,
cannot stand it. All of a
if they
sudden
were
now she's weak and she can't make a choice for herself. Oh, and also it might kill her, and so then we have more drama between the sister. No, thank
don't
you.
get me started. They can they can heal from almost being disintegrated, but a C-section it apparently is too
Considering
far.
right, but considering everything that SJM put all the Bat Boys through, and suddenly Farah can't handle giving birth to a child with wings, all because
It
her
was
and
like,
Reese decided to do it while flying, which is already
ugh.
weird. Already really weird.
Or don't even get me started. I don't know if you're like ever watched The Boys or seen like
Yes, I
the.
have.
Have you seen the animated shorts they did?
I have not seen those.
So they did one that was more akin to the comics,
Hmm.
like comic styles and everything. And they talked about this one super called the Great Wonder who took a
Yeah.
few like MIT graduate women for what he calls a flying fuck. And it got, a little cold up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fucked up part of it all is that those bodies were probably still up there. Ugh. Yeah, the boys are fucked up. I love the
Yeah,
show.
the main yeah, it's messed up, and to do that,
Yep.
oh
Yep.
my gosh.
Yeah, so like them having sex in the air is like, wow, that's cold. Like I'm not even
Yeah,
thinking about like, oh geez, they're your leaders having sex in the air.
yeah.
Or anyone who could look up and see. In my
And
mind,
I mean,
like everyone is
SJM,
just like looking at the
yeah.
floor, thinking like, yeah, we know what's going on. We know.
SJM, I mean, I understand with the mate bond thing of like where it is a more animalistic instinct where they,
Hmm.
oh, we're mates. As soon as it's accepted, we have to do the deed, but
We have
also
to. Verily,
doing
we
it
shall bang.
do it right doing it in a war camp though and writing out the sounds of the dying were drowned out. No, thank you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, like could you imagine just being an Ilarian
it
who's just laying there,
yeah,
trying to recover, and all of a sudden you hear this? It's like, oh, you got to be joking me.
right, and then
like,
also the
like I'm
part
rebelling
when
the first second
yeah,
I am
and the
given the
part
chance.
when they get to the war camp initially, and so Reese and Cassian have to fight, and all the Illyrians, for once in their lives, actually support the women and children and take them off the land, and they're just going to be flying around. Keep in mind, in the middle of a war, bro, you guys couldn't have had better timing. Couldn't have just stayed at the cabin and like sent like I don't know, use Daimati skills to be like, hey Morgan, just so you know, you guys need to handle things for a couple days.
Yeah,
We're getting this out of his system. Like you couldn't have done that instead.
look, there are so many things that they could have done.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying that Cassian can't like maneuver his way out of a paper bag. Like
Cassian,
his
for
logic is run straight at the enemy, kill
yeah,
whatever in front of me, question mark, question mark, question mark, win.
for being the general of the Illyrian armies, I've said this to Moore and Liv and Eka multiple times, and to anyone who will listen, he doesn't do any strategizing
No, he
at
doesn't. He's
all.
terrible at it.
We get stuff from Amryn, Morrigan, even Rhys, and a little bit from Farah. Azrael's doing a bunch of behind the scenes stuff too, since he's the spy master. But
Allegedly,
Cassian,
like
well, yeah,
even as I
I
have qualms
I
with.
do have favoritism towards Az, but
That's
I'm always
fine.
willing to hear out the other stuff because yeah, we don't really get anything except for Az is doing his job. Just like we get, oh yeah, Morrigan's in Valahan, right? But Cassian's a general, and we had battles, and he wasn't strategizing. He was just leading the army into battle. I
Right,
don't.
and it's
And for being the Lord of Bloodshed, he blew up a building and
please.
then almost died multiple times himself.
Look, as a 40K fan, no, he is not the Lord of Bloodshed. I can name like
No,
five people
yeah,
who are more terrifying than he is.
yeah,
And like something that annoys me is that the Alorians can fly. That is a strategic
yeah,
it- like game changer.
yeah.
Just like
And they're not
and they don't
actually
use it like
utilized. No.
they don't use it like at all. It's like imagine like the flanking maneuvers. Like you have a new access to attack.
Not just
Um
flanking maneuvers, but like the creatures that are like the Adder would have been
mhm.
easily fucking taken out by the
Right,
Illyrians.
right, but it's like even like with this war with Hybern, it's like okay, you can cut off their supplies by just having them fly and harass
Or,
them. You can
yeah, like
attack
what
generals by
Eris
just
and his brothers did of winnowing into the enemy side and burning up all the ashwood and stuff.
yeah, exactly. So like there
Like,
are
it didn't
so
take that much to do. The Illyrians could have actually saved Eris and his brothers some hassle, flown above with some, like, flaming arrows or something. Because we hear
eh.
about how the Illyrians are skilled with archery, skilled with swords, hand-to-hand combat, but we don't
Oh, don't
actually
even get me.
see it.
Yeah, it's like archery. You guys can fly. You
Yeah,
can literally harass the opposite side with that. It's so easy.
yeah.
But it's like, no, we don't get that. Plus, we're constantly told Illyrians are like these great warriors, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, we're also told that they're a problem when it comes to like, all of their traditions and stuff. But at the same time, honestly, Reese was able to get them to stop clipping wings, for the most part.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, for the
Well,
most part.
he passed the law, but there's like no backing it up. There's like
Yeah, because, oh, we need the Illyrians. We don't want to piss them off and have them revolt. Yeah, because you have absolutely no one else, because the Court of Nightmares won't help you. They
no,
only
they
helped you
won't.
because they got strong-armed into fighting against Hybern.
Oh yeah,
That's
like
like the
I
Night
truly.
Court, honest to God, I think is actually one of the weakest courts, if not the
Oh
weakest.
no, like when you look at it just even from a geographical sense, like it
Yeah.
is completely like each section is completely isolated from each
Well,
other.
yeah, especially because
Like
it's
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 all
based on
mountains.
the UK as well, the map. So,
Yeah,
I
so it's
mean,
very
if we
much
actually
based
look
on
at
Scotland.
yeah, if we look at our actual history, like
Mhm.
Scotland really didn't stand much of a chance against England.
No.
And it's just like Night Court, yeah, they have Court of Nightmares, which kind of rules themselves, then Valaris, which doesn't have really any ruling, and everyone's just buddy buddy with the High Lord, which also makes no sense to me. And then you have the
It
prison, which Mel has the theory that that's Dusk Court, so it's not even actually Night Court or anything like that. And again, it's the prison. They're not gonna. You had to do so much manipulation to get these, you know, basically gods to help you out, anyways.
mhm. So I have a something to say about the whole Dust Court because don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I love the Dust Court. I do feel like it's weird that you have four of the seasons, but only three times a day.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I
Yeah.
mean, I get it. Seven's a lucky number. Seven has a lot of power behind it compared to like
Yeah.
say eight.
But at the same time, if we're really paying attention to numbers, all the numbers technically have their own meanings and everything like that.
hmm It's just weird that the prison. Now, granted, I'm basing it off the map
Yeah.
is the Dust Court, which is just like this tiny island. Like if we
Yeah.
compare it to like
I think
our own
her
geography,
theory
it's like
also has like I think the night court was actually because if you look at the sizing of the courts as well,
mhm.
um dawn and day are much smaller than night court. So the way that I see it is that the prison was like the far edge of dusk, but Valaris I think was also in dusk court too.
I
So it
mean that makes
actually is like
sense.
night court getting split in half basically.
No, it makes
And
sense.
honestly, I feel
I mean
like
we know for a fact that Spring was a lot larger.
oh yeah, no, because Spring would have technically taken up the whole bottom part where the mortals were too, but then the wall was built.
Right, and even to this day, I think if it's not spring, like spring and winter, land-wise, are the biggest courts. I
I
think.
think you know what, I can grab one of my books just to pull up the map real quick. Silver Flames has the nicest map. So that's the one we're going to.
Sounds good with me.
Yeah, so if we're looking at it, actually Winter Court is a bit smaller than Summer and Autumn. It's a lot smaller actually. Winter I
Oh
would
yeah.
say is the smallest one, but then we have Dawn and Day. Day cuts off
hmm
like right here. So Night Court and Spring Court would have been the two biggest.
Well, I would say spring is probably, well, prior to the invasion,
Yeah.
probably the biggest both land-wise and population-wise because
Population wise, it absolutely is.
spring is very much the breadbasket to the rest of the courts.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, summer and autumn do contribute,
Oh yeah, no,
but
like
spring is very much the time of growth where it's very much the what you think about when it
yeah.
comes to like food.
I honestly, the way that I see it, spring is the agricultural, like,
Yeah.
exports. Autumn I see as like timber,
hmm
and just wood in general for building or whatever. Summer court, I see it as like the more novelty items, and then things like gems and, pearls and stuff like that you really will only
Gems,
find
pearls,
around
but I
there.
also think like say hunting or even
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah,
Like
seafood
in
and stuff.
yeah, like in Witch of the Woods, I wrote oh, why am I blanking on his name? The High Lord of Summer, what's his
Summer
name?
is Tarquin.
Tarquin. Yeah, so I wrote a Tarquin story,
Yeah.
chapter where, one of the things he does a lot of is go fishing for the people of spring. Basically,
Yeah.
like the a large amount of spring refugees he has. In
Yeah.
fact, he opened up one of his like palaces
hmm
to the spring.
That's right, because we have seen the Adriata Palace, but there's mention that he has like one or two others.
Yeah, I think I call it like the water palace or
Yeah.
something like that. Basically, it's like has all these like pools and everything that people can come to. He talks to one of his cousins saying like, "Look, do you see a difference between spring children and summer children? No,
Because
these
they're
kids
all
don't know.
children.
Yeah, because they're all kids. This is one I
Yeah.
want to like foster, and that's why I'm sending you to spring.
Yeah.
Because I want to foster that good relationship again.
Yeah.
Like I always figure like there should be more interactions between Tarquin and Tamlin.
Yeah. Especially with them
Not
being bordering courts.
well bordering court, but also like they are young high lords. Like
Yeah.
Tamlin understands what it means to be a high lord before his time.
hmm
So I always thought like he could help Tarquin with that.
Yeah, I feel like even Helion would be able to help both of them too, because he wasn't meant to be a successor either.
Nope.
He just got chosen. He was living that playboy life.
He's still living that playboy
Oh,
life.
he's still living it. But yeah, nah, he's still,
I
just
will
in the
say
library reading.
one of the funniest things I read was him trying to hit on Nesta, and Nesta's like, "Shut up, like just go
Oh,
away."
yeah, no. I've read quite a few fanfics where they have Helion be just the playboy who flirts with everyone, and Nesta's always the one who's like, dude, I literally don't care. Don't try to flirt with me. And then one of them I read, they ended up forming like a good, like really mutual friendship because she wasn't trying to sleep with him, and he was like, oh yeah, you're not a conquest, we're gonna be
Yeah.
buddies. So then they share like smut books and everything.
Oh, you kidding me? Like one of the book series that I have her read is very much tongue in cheek, like
Yeah.
they're reading their version of ACOURTOFLOVEANDHEALING. Yeah, and the writer for it I have is gonna be Helion.
Oh, that's
He's
hilarious.
he's under a different pen name,
Yeah.
but it's Helion, and the only one who knows it is Eris.
That's so
And
funny.
Eris basically goes to him when he reads this one part about like I think it's called the Phoenix King and the Fire Queen or something like
Yeah.
that, and he just goes to Helion. He's like, "Really?" It's like, "I know you're talking about my mom."
Buddy, I don't want to read about my mom like that. Let's not do it. That's
Like,
so
look, I
funny.
yeah, like I really kind of put it into Eris kind of knows that of
Yeah. About
Lucien's
the, yeah.
parentage, kind of implying he would want his mom more with Helion than he would with
Yeah.
his father.
I have a headcanon that Baron is the only one who doesn't know. Because
Oh yeah, that'd be
he's the
hilarious.
oldest one. He's like 5,000 years old. He or something like that. He is the oldest High Lord right
Hmm.
now. And you're telling me he doesn't know?
Oh,
And it's like a secret? No, everybody knows because Lucian
of course everyone
Cannon
knows.
looks more like Helion anyways. So it's just I have it to where he's basically just he's got such a low IQ with such obvious
Or
things.
or to be fair, I think either he doesn't pay attention to those things or he doesn't want to believe that because he
Yeah,
is very
like
much
he
a
knows it and he's
control
just
freak.
like, no.
Which I always find a little funny. Now, granted, this could just because of Rasan's, mind
Yeah.
control, that he was the first one to give up a piece of his power to bring Feyre back to life.
Yeah, Mel also has the theory of just like that was control. Like, but
Not
I
only
see
was it
it.
control, I think they kind of
I
canonized that in the High Lord meeting because, like,
Yeah,
even
because
they,
the
a
High
few of them
Lords were all
mentions,
like
like,
it felt like a piece was missing. I honestly I think SJM didn't intentionally start writing Baron as such a bad guy until she got like fan um
feedback.
feedback.
Or,
Yeah.
well, to be fair, I truly believe that she wanted to take the series in a different direction,
Yeah.
like very much make Rhysand the bad guy and
Yeah.
have Feyre and Tamlin be
And then
endgame.
retconned it because everyone started getting into, oh my god, the Shadow Daddy. He's so morally gray. Like
No, he's not.
every other book series, like from
Well,
Blood and Ash. And I mean, like this half of my books is all of the morally gray and fae and all that of just it's
at
all
least
the
with
same
like
crap.
a series like Shadow and Bones, at least they're smart enough to like say
Yeah.
like, no, the Shadow Daddy in this, he's evil.
Yeah.
Like they constantly
I
bring that up. It's like, no, he's bad.
I had started reading the Shadow and Bone series around the time the show was coming out.
Hmm.
And I made the mistake of watching the show like more religiously than reading it. So then
Hmm.
I saw how the show didn't really go over that well and then like got canceled. And then I finished the books and I was like, oh, you know what? I don't actually like this series.
Hmm.
Oops. But they did do a very good job with the bad guy stays the bad guy.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, like going back a little bit to the
Yeah.
with like her intended one, or at least
Yeah.
what we feel like it, because there's just so many retcons and like Mist and Fury is just basically ACOTAR just replaced Tamlin with Rhysand, and it's the same book. It's the
Yeah.
same damn story.
Yeah.
Just
Just a little
the only
fluffier because it's
just
thicker.
a little fluffier, just a little more like, what would Tamlin not do in this? Oh, put her life in danger.
Yeah. Don't make me into a pawn, proceeds to make her into a pawn, and then she beats his ass, and then they finally fix things, which is weird. I
Uh,
honestly, if that sort of thing happened in real life, I would still be mad. 3 books
Yeah.
later of just no, you used me. Like I don't care for mates.
I
You
asked you to.
used me. I specifically set a boundary, and that's why for like every episode that I've been on since joining the pod, I keep saying everyone needs therapy. Just
Oh yeah.
fix
Tamlin
yourselves.
needs therapy the most, but
Tamlin, yeah.
I do find it funny how was it jeez, just blanked on it. I do find it funny how Tamlin basically it like something that the memes I always see ridiculous is that
Yeah.
like saying like, "Oh, we shall marry right away." No, Tamlin asked her to if she wanted to get married, and she said
Yeah.
yes. Let's keep
They
that one line.
literally they were home for I think a couple of months and then got engaged and then it took another like 3 months or something for them to
Yeah,
actually
for
have the wedding, which for Faye honestly seems a little slow because most of
yeah,
them do have mates, even though we get from Tamlin or someone that mates are actually kind of rare, just as having children is rare. And
kind
yet
of rare. Yeah, sure.
I do find it funny that Lady A is so fertile. She's got that many kids, and with two different males too,
Yeah.
technically. Like,
It's funny because in TIA, I'm having Leah go back to her family's estate,
yeah,
and she actually makes a comment of like, yes, the majority of Fae are you have a hard time conceiving children.
yeah.
Sadly, no one told my family this. Like,
That's great.
she mentions that like even though her family is kind of like middle of
Yeah,
like social and of Fey nobility, the
yeah.
reason why they're so popular is because
They have
how
lots
easy
of
it is for them to
babies.
have kids.
Yeah.
So they kind of want
Honestly,
that in the gene pool.
that is a comment that like I would totally see Eris making of just like, yeah, kids are kind of rare. Nobody informed my mother.
Yeah. But another that always gets me is that, when they say like, oh, well, why didn't Tamlin make her the High Lady of Spring? It's like because he asked her and she said no.
Because she
And then
didn't
Lament,
want a title. She specifically said, "Oh, what will people call me, High Lady?" And he says, "No, High Ladies don't exist. Do you want a title?" And she said, "Oh, I couldn't stand to have that kind of attention and responsibility."
visibility. Yeah, it's like,
And then in the Night Court, she doesn't really have any responsibility anyways with that
no, no.
title.
I truly believe like the things she signs her name on are all blank. That Rasan's just like playing with her mind, so she thinks it
Honestly,
has
yeah.
letters on there.
And a lot of the fics that I've read about like Night Court and things like that, they have Azrael doing all the paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, yeah, the Shadow Singer. He does all the paperwork. He fills everything out. He just sometimes needs Reese or Farah to give an extra signature. Like
Yeah, that
it's
makes more
very
sense.
much like the UK where there's Parliament and then there's also the royal
The
family.
king, yeah, the
Yeah.
royal family who are
Royal
just there as
family
more.
is yeah, just for pictures and crap and maybe to
Yeah,
sign a couple things. But it's
right.
mostly Parliament.
Uh-huh. Then there's like her whole stance when it came to like the tithe. It's like the tithe is not it's not even that big of a deal.
It really isn't a big deal, but I did like seeing her humanity shine through with the starving what was it? Water Wraith where she gave like the bracelet or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
it did cause some discourse, but I feel like it would have been better if SJM took that instead of being like Tamlin's controlling or whatever. It would be like, no, Farah, that's your human heart speaking. You
Yeah,
can't be that warm and empathetic in this world. You can't see
right.
them
Oh,
as starving and things like that. They had a deadline. They needed to
mm-hmm.
meet it. Yes, you helped them this one time, but that means they owe you a favor. If you keep helping people, they're going to owe you favors, and then it's going to be necessary to do things. It's not going to be, you seen as authority anymore.
Right. And that's kind of I'll keep saying this is that Tamlin was the one who was kind of getting her prepared to be a lady of the court, to
Yeah,
be someone who has responsibilities and understand how this works.
because he most
Look,
likely went through the same stuff of being a little too human when it came
Yeah,
to
being a
helping
little too,
others.
yeah, like at first he was probably like someone who wanted to like just do the right thing. And he still
Yeah.
wants to do the right thing. I mean, this guy held off the tide for 50 fucking years.
Yeah. Held it
It,
off. And he also was originally just a warrior for his dad. So he
not
got to
even that, he
like,
wanted to be a bard. He wanted to like be a musician.
yeah.
But he became a warrior because he just wanted to get away from Amarantha.
Yeah. And like, I mean, honestly, he did a great job. And I
Hmm.
want to see more fix with like the political side. Like, you know,
I'm working on it, damn it.
hey, you're doing a great job. You're doing the Lord's work because nobody else is
Yeah,
really doing it. I'm
yeah,
writing
well, that's
mine to give people therapy. Like that's the characters I make are basically therapists of
uh,
just they read books and it's just like, yeah, so actually your brain works like this specifically. So these are the things that you need to do to fix yourself. It's not my
mhm,
job to hold your hand and fix you.
right.
Yeah.
But look, I get the idea that, no one likes paying their taxes. That's fine. I
Yeah.
got that. But, Talon basically told people that the tithes were coming back. They
Yeah.
had this amount of time
You
to
have
get their
three
affairs in
months.
orders.
Yeah.
So when the tithes come, this isn't benefiting me. This is benefiting Spring as a whole.
Because
And
you
like the
still have to make payment to be able to keep the court thriving.
exactly. And it's like in his whole payment is like you could pay him literally anything.
Literally, for the water rates, I think it was like fish.
Yeah,
What do
it
you
was.
mean you don't have fish? And
Uh-huh.
and then it's explained, I think by Alice, that the rates are greedy. The
Yeah,
reason
they
they
are.
didn't
Like
have anything
literally
is
everyone
because they
hates the
ate
raids,
it.
even Lucian.
Yeah. It did help with the plot though of, they owed Farah a favor and so, Farah had the plot armor and didn't drown.
Hmm. Yeah, my plan is that because right now Jenny and Talon are returning to Spring,
Yeah.
and one of the things they run into are the water wraiths. And
Mm.
Tamlin is trying to control himself from tearing them up. And the water wraiths are basically saying, like, look, we didn't know that, us helping her would lead to all this
Lead
bad
to the
things.
downfall, yeah.
Yeah, we just thought, we had to help her. We
Yeah.
were just repaying the
owed
favor.
owed a favor because she did something for us that was
Hmm.
supposedly out of the kindness of her very human heart.
Her very human heart that she doesn't have anymore. And where's
Yeah, it's like with Vampire Diaries, you apparently can just shut off your humanity after a certain point.
it?
It's
Well,
been
because the writer doesn't want to keep thinking about it.
yeah, which makes absolutely no sense.
Hmm. Uh, so basically my plan is for Tamlin just to like as punishment is that they
Yeah.
have to basically patrol the rivers, patrol the all the waterways as like that's their going to be their tithe from this point on. Like they have to work to better Spring.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like that's another thing about the tithe that people tend to forget is like literally you could pay in labor. Like you need to
Yeah.
repair roads, repair roads.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we
You
don't have as many trees that we used to go through and replant them. Like, you know.
mhm. Like it could be literally anything, and it's not even a high amount. Like
Yeah.
what they say it was like a tenth of what they earned or something like that.
I think so. Which
Yeah,
is
so it's not.
less than what we have to pay in real life.
Oh, kidding me. In Warhammer Fantasy, there's a faction called Bretonia, which is very
Yeah.
much like it's kind of like King Arthurian lore.
Yeah.
Basically you take King Arthur, you make an entire nation around it.
Hmm.
But the peasants have to pay 9/10 of whatever they produce.
I will never complain about taxes again.
I know they have to pay 9/10 of it because technically what they own is technically on loan from the king.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So they're basically just giving the king back what what he gave to
Hmm.
them.
Yeah, like they mention once the creator of the trebuchet,
Yeah.
um, like the king was so impressed that he gave the creator three pigs,
Yeah.
and as a show of mercy and of being grateful, he only took back one of them. I'm
Oh,
hoping he left a female
right?
because then at least that inventor can create more pigs,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah. No, the Tamlin definitely I'm pretty sure the way that Tamlin had the tide set up too, it was probably less than what his father had had as well.
Yeah, and
So he
then
was
they
still
bring
being very merciful.
and then they mention like the whole like tithe hunt, which I'm like, okay, is there ever a moment where Tamlin would actually do that, like hunt people down for their money? I mean, he would probably go
I
to
don't even
them.
think it would be actually hunting down. I think that's just the threat. What it probably is just he's like, "Hey, can you can you pay up? Can we come up with a different deal?" But to save face and hold more power as the High Lord, it's probably a I'm gonna hunt you down because you couldn't meet my
Yeah,
needs.
and people are, you probably still remember his father and what he used
Yeah,
to
and his
do.
father probably did kill people, especially
Oh yeah,
because when
totally.
his father was around, they still had the human slaves. So it could have
Hmm.
been very similar to like historically in our world, where they're in some higher up families and all that, they had whipping boys. Where,
Yep.
oh, you did something wrong? Cool. I'm gonna beat the crap out of this servant of yours. You know, like your
Or have you do it.
lady in waiting. Yeah, you have to, or yeah, like Tamlin did with the sentry. When
Even with the century, like that was more of like I saw
there
that
was a
more as like
lot of
military discipline.
yeah, but there was also
Like
there was a lot of manipulation involved in all that with Ianthe and stuff, and it's just like
Ianthe and Farah, which I'm like,
yeah, but he's
like
still
this guy needs to be around more healthier
yeah.
women. Like
Yeah.
his track record
Or
with
just no
women
women
is
at all, you know?
his track record with women is not exactly the best. Because, you know,
Yeah.
you got Amarantha, who was the worst. You have Ianthe, who basically, like, spiritually manipulated him. You had Farah, who emotionally and every other words manipulated him.
Yeah.
If we're going with the whole theory of Lauren, you know, I would say that was probably his healthiest one. But again, that's just a theory. Nothing's been proven yet.
Yeah.
So it's definitely those moments where it's like, my dude, you just need a vacation.
You need a vacation, go to like Dawncourt, go to a spa,
Yeah.
something. I
Yeah,
honestly, I've
get
got
all
a
the
head,
depression
yeah.
gunk out of you.
I've got a head canon that Dawncourt has like spas that are run by healers and all. And
Uh,
it's like
yeah, or like hot
aromatherapy
springs.
and yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
because you
just
know the way I
like
see Dawn is kind of like a mixture between like China and Japan a little bit.
yes, yeah. And I see day court very similar to like the ancient Romans and Greeks. So they've got like the
Hmm.
bathhouses and also, you know, healing gets to be more of a playboy, but they've got the bathhouses, they've got just like the I mean, heck, even with the Library of Alexandria, that's also what I think of with day court. Of just like, oh,
Yeah,
you have the most intense libraries. We'd have one of those too if it hadn't been burned down.
yeah. Like winter, I see as like kind of being Scandinavia,
Yes. Or the
Russia a
country,
bit.
Georgia too, with
Hmm.
the culture and the clothing and all that.
Right, but I see that more as like being more southern,
Yeah.
like around the borders. Like I kind of
Yeah.
mentioned in the story, like at certain parts you'll have
Yeah.
like depending how close they are to the certain borders,
Yeah.
like it changes. Like for example, with spring and summer, you'll have like something more along like bayous, like something we'd see in like the deep south.
Yes. I was also thinking something similar to that for the middle.
Hmm.
Um because I mean it talks about how it's very dark and like otherworldly and stuff. So I was thinking the middle is very bayou as well because of, you know, like crazy medicine woman or like that sort of thing.
Oh, hey, Mel's out.
Yay! Finally.
I know.
Hold on.
um
There we go.
yeah.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, hey.
Hello.
Mm,
We were
Sorry.
talking a little bit about theories. With we start out with some trade route talk. And we're talking about how like the geography of Prithian compares to some places in real life, and like how Wintercourt is very like Scandinavian and things like that. And
Very
we were
Nordic.
we were talking about I was saying the middle is very much like the bayou, and he was saying that summer and spring, right?
Yeah, summer and spring
is similar to that too.
Similar to bayou, while like spring and fall is more like what you'd see like heavy pines of like if you go like to like say upstate New York.
Yeah. I see autumn as like Vermont.
Very Vermont.
Like all the foliage, like New Hampshire, Vermont in the fall.
That section when it comes to like the border sections. But we were also talking about like how Tamlin just does not have the best luck with women.
And that's what got us into the sort of geographical talk, because Dawncourt has like the spas or hot springs, so he can go and just have a spa day with some healers.
Get the depression gunk off of him.
And then just
like I'm
not
so
deal with women
convinced
for a
that
little.
Dawn has like therapy.
He
just
like some kind of like meditation stuff like that, something to kind of like help with that. I mean, it would definitely give Dawn something to do.
And when we talked about trade routes and stuff, it would be interesting if one of the things that comes from like maybe a collaboration between Dawn and Day is like therapy books. You know, self-help.
Therapy books.
How to be the true fae that you are.
Honestly, I just want Dawn to do something. Like it feels like they very much feel like they're there too. Kind of feel like what's their high lord's name?
I was telling David.
Thesan.
I was telling David last night because he's like, "Oh, I think I play like one of the high lords, like Thesson or whatever." I was like, "Thesan! I love him." He's like,
but it just feels like he's not like. And I know this is going to sound bad, like he just feels like he's like the Tolkien gay one. Like just give him more character. Like I want to see.
Well, he was, because again, Sarah was fully planning on making Azrael and more mates, and then after ACOURTOFLOVEANDHEALING came out, there was this whole like riot against her where she didn't have any LGBT characters, and everybody was pissed at her and calling
That's
her
also around the same time when she was getting flack for not actually saying like the skin tones and stuff.
So she was
tanned
like,
skin. No,
which is why she had to say, "Oh, Helion with his brown skin," and blah blah blah. And so
his very dark, sun-kissed.
So she's like, I have to have at least one female and one male gay person. Like.
Exactly. You had to have the list. But something I find funny about the whole like tan skin scenario is like the whole like, okay, so wait, you're telling me in the Illyrian steppe in the Night Court, all these people just happen to have enough sunlight for a tan? I mean, have you seen Scotland?
It's the most random people. Like,
if you look at Scotland, they have a tan, but then if you compare them to, I don't know, the Irish are going to be darker. Like that's very much Autumn Court. The red hair and the more tan skin, lots of freckles.
The
Illyrians are not tan. Azrael, I could see being tan because being spy master, he'd be traveling a lot. But that's about it.
Traveling.
Morgan would be tan because she's in Valahan all the time.
Valahan. It's crazy.
They spend more time outside their court than actually in it.
Right.
But they're like, it's the safe haven. Really? Because you didn't open it up to anyone.
Is it safe? Because you're barely there.
It's a fishbowl.
You haven't really let anyone in. The second you
let
anyone in.
They have to make a criteria. They have to be X amount of painters and or good looking enough. Or kiss their High Lord's ass hard enough.
Honestly.
That flack was also around the time, I think, because SJM then decided with Valaris, she'd say that all the different fairies and stuff have like pink skin or blue skin, and it's like, oh, because you're lazy, because you don't actually try to describe.
There was like
a minority skin color.
There was two
I'm not against
skin fairies from
having like different skin tones than humans do. Like, to me, that's fine.
But she could have described it better, you know? Her skin was blue. Okay, well, like, it could be iridescent. If it's from Summer Court, what if it's iridescent
Summer
like
Court Fair were just blue.
like different colors of pearls and stuff? Because
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
have salt
exactly.
water and fresh water. Make it like that, where it's got a
Yeah.
shimmer to it.
Yeah, and like describe the wings, like not just my wings were cut off. What type of wings would he have had?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we
Like,
have bat wings,
you know-
fairy wings? Do we have hawk
Yeah.
wings? Like, there's
And,
so
I mean, we
many
even
different kind of
do
wings.
Angel wings.
We do sort of see that there are those fairies with the like more pixie-like wings, but it's not really explained other than the wings were shimmery and sparkly.
Like my OC, Tarquin's mates.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
I love her so much. But no, I was telling David, like, I would love a Dawn Court novella because they just intrigue me so much because we have so little about them.
Yeah.
And
I know, and
Thiessen
you
is
can do
just
so much with that.
And he's so calm and just so unproblematic.
Yeah. Like how did he get to that point?
Problematic High Lord.
That's why I like Mandalore.
Well, I would say he's the most unproblematic one because we've spent the less amount of time with him.
He had like 2 lines.
But that's why I like Mandalore's fix because it actually
Yeah.
gets into more dynamics. Rather than, here's this character. No, this character is showing up because it's actually important.
Well,
yeah,
it's
he
funny
was
that
like,
you
I think
mentioned
I was
that.
in like book 3 for 2 lines. I was like, yeah, I love him though. Like,
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that because one plan I have for Witch of the Woods, now granted, I don't know how I can fit it in. So, I always come up with
you'll
these
figure it
different
out.
ideas. Yeah, I always come up with these different ideas.
Yeah.
And like, maybe I'll work, maybe it won't. Like, one I had was this one agent called 33. He was a project that still works for the people who created him. Like, he doesn't even know who his real name is.
Yeah.
He just goes with 33. That's my name. And
like the Asteri Labs, just kind of resurrecting people. Weird.
Yeah, and the thing is that he has a Vogue stalking him, and then he's like, "Yeah, I know you're there," and then the Vogue's like, "Well, I know your true name," and says his name that's like one of his many, many aliases, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, that's not my real name," and
That's
then he just captures him and just keeps him in his pocket. It's like, yeah, I'll use it when I need to use it.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if I can fit that in. That just feels like a lot as the moment.
Yeah.
But one thing
it could be like a spin-off.
It could be a spin-off, could be a side chapter. I don't know what it could be.
Dude, I was planning a whole spin-off on like the Dusk Court before like she actually like did CC3. And now I'm just like, well, that's pointless.
I had some ideas for the Dusk Court where they were definitely like more of like the morose death kind of deal, like very pale skin, like black eyes, very much into crows. But they kind of changed that, so I can't really do that. But one of the things I did, so this was a discussion I had back with a few friends in the book group. Primarily when it comes to Jenny having to treat Faye now, it's like, okay, there's not a lot of books I can look into, plus I need the experience, so I need to actually study cadavers, which
oh no,
it's probably not going to be a good thing because they hold their dead sacred. So one thing I thought was like, okay, maybe send her to Day because they have great healers and she can actually learn more there. But again, it's always a question whether or not to do that at the moment, but I'll think of something. So did you have any other questions?
Honestly, I had a couple of questions. I know we went sort of off.
Did you see Olivia's? Olivia wrote some notes.
Oh, she did?
Cool.
She did.
I hadn't seen that.
That's what I meant to say when I popped on.
Yeah, I got them pulled up. So Olivia wanted to ask where you envision taking your fanfics and like how much do you think you're gonna plan to write out, or is it just sort of you're writing as ideas pop into your head?
It's kind of a little bit of both. I do have end goals in mind when it comes to the stories. Like in TIA, I definitely have an end goal that is, like any crime noir, yes, there is an end goal. With Witch of the Woods, it is a little bit like popped in my head, but at the same time, it's like things I want to achieve. Tamlin asserting himself as High Lord.
Yeah.
of spring. Him getting better, or at least starting the
Yeah.
process of that. And also kind of going back more with the Tamlin story, Jenny, Janet.
Yeah.
That was kind of the main spur of that, is that when you actually read the story of Tamlin and Janet, it's a very romantic story. Like,
Yeah.
she basically goes out to bang him.
Yeah.
Like,
she chooses him above everything.
Yeah,
And
she's
she's like,
basically
I'm not killing my baby, bitch. Bye,
yeah.
daddy.
Oh, on top of that, it's just like she basically goes out intentionally being like, oh no, I hope this like very
no, a Fae
powerful
male."
individual doesn't ravage me or
A
something.
Fae
I'm getting
kidnapping me?
kidnapped.
Oh, how terrible!
Yeah, and she goes basically like, look, you're really hot, and my dad's castle is just full of old dudes. So are we doing this or not?
Why not? So is Tamlin going to have a child by the end of this fic?
I don't know if it's. Yeah, here's
Or
the
at
thing.
least
I
talks
have
of it.
Like
had
a 10-year
ideas with.
epilogue? Maybe.
I don't know. Like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's up in the air, so I say things
Yeah.
now, but then maybe
Yeah.
later on I'll think of something else. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like TBA.
I mean, they're gonna end up together though, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
No,
Of course.
there's no question about
I was
it.
like,
Of course they are.
you're not gonna pull like a Sam and Selena or like a freaking
No.
Cormac and
Well,
Sophie. Like, I would
first
be
and
so
foremost,
mad at you.
killing Jenny's gonna be next to impossible.
Like, don't pull a Feyre and Tamlin on me. I would be so pissed again.
No, like Jen, like the way I have it is Jenny despises Feyre. Absolutely
I know.
despises, and not even just because
Good.
of like
Everybody
how she
does.
As
how
they
she
should.
treated Tamlin. It's also how she left Spring, how she like
Yeah.
left all these people to die practically.
Can I just say, like, why is nobody in canon upset about that?
Because
like,
I swear
Tarquin
to
was the only one pissed because it affected him. But if it didn't affect him, would he have been pissed too? Like, I don't know. It's the narrative.
I truly believe, yeah, it's the narrative. Sarah didn't think about it, and I don't know. Versand is just basically mentally controlling everyone,
she's
like
a part
dampening
of-
everybody.
Sarah is definitely a part of that group of authors that's like, oh, I'm going to do everything for the plot, but then I'm not actually going to look into how this would really affect other places long term, because those other places aren't my focus right now.
I know.
And she doesn't
Well,
actually
plus-
see it as more world building, where it just helps us view the way others see these characters.
I mean, that's why I was impressed when she at least put in, you know, that whole confrontation with Tarquin when he was actually very pissed at them.
Yeah.
And he's like, get the fuck out. Like, take your mate and get the fuck
but
out of my court.
At the same
I
time,
was like, yes, yes.
At the same time, she's really laying it heavy
That's it.
that Farah is an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, on top of that,
and the
little
fact that
too
people
much
will
at this
say
point.
that everything she says is like right and true and
No,
accurate.
no,
And I was
like,
like, bitch,
Sarah can't
this
make up her
author
mind
even
of
says
who's
she
to
isn't.
blame for her sisters getting changed.
Sarah herself
Jesus
said
fucking
that
Christ,
Farah
I
is
hate
meant to
that
be
argument.
unreliable. Like it is confirmed by her. Farah is
I
not
had that
meant
argument
to trust it
like
100%.
5 times this week. I can't do it. Can't do it.
At this point, you can't even use the argument on many people anymore because those people are probably unreliable narrators in their own life. Again, therapy.
I was like, are you sure you have reading comprehension? And then I just sent the screenshot.
But something to go back to a little bit.
Yeah.
When it comes to, Farah and everything, it's like, remember, she's not even allowed to leave Valaris. So she doesn't know what's happening in Spring. She doesn't know what's happening in the Mortarland. She doesn't know what's happening in the other courts. Like, she doesn't know any of this.
Like, as much as her and Moore are like chosen sisters, right? Moore is also kind of like the person impersonating her because, yes, there's Reese, obviously, they're mates and whatever. But there are multiple times where Moore gets very upset that she leaves the confines of Valaris. It was during the war, it was during ACOURTOFLOVEANDHEALING. It was like, I think there was a part, she says something in ACOURTOFLOVEANDHEALING too about Farah like wanting to go somewhere or whatever. But it's like she gets pissed when Farah wants to leave the Night Court. Like, I thought that you guys knew that she was powerful and could defend herself now.
Right.
But you still don't want her to leave? So you're acting the way that
like
Tamlin acted.
did. Again, it's only bad when Tamlin does it.
Yeah. Just the fact that Reese even kind of perpetuates this in the Akasif bonus chapter where he's like, oh, well, if Moore was here, she would put a second shield on you and she wouldn't let you leave this house. And I was like,
so what you're saying,
you just say?
What you're saying is she'd lock her in the house with a shield.
Right?
Yeah, so basically it's the same thing.
Farrah's okay with that?
Yeah.
What?
I was so surprised that Farrah even let supposedly Helion put shields on her to hide the pregnancy and all that.
Yeah.
Because, what do you mean you're letting this be done to your body now when you're with child?
Her trauma
she was
only applies when it's plot convenient.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Reese convinced her that it was a good idea, but then she just gave up.
She was like, I don't like this. I don't like this.
She went from being
compromised.
Yeah.
You didn't compromise. You just let him do whatever the fuck he wanted.
She went from being overpowered as fuck to now weak and doesn't even argue. She used to be
basically a trad wife at this point.
Nothing against trad wives either.
Yeah, I know.
As long as they
because it's usually their choice.
Spins it.
But the thing with trad wives is not only are they choosing to live that lifestyle, but they're also still holding their own. They're still, oh, hey, honey, that's not a great idea. Yeah. That actually compromises me.
Or they're, actually doing shit around the house, but she has fucking servants. What the fuck is she doing?
That's the thing. Even if she's just a trad wife
party planning and having babies.
She's like, I'm not gonna sit around plan parties and have babies. It's like, lady, you're already doing that.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, she wouldn't do it for
Tamlin. You're living that life.
And actually, dude, Mandalore said something funny earlier about the possibility that Farrah's not actually signing paperwork or anything. Reese is just messing with her mind. It's probably just all blank paper. And I brought up how in a lot of fics and stuff, Azrael is usually the one that people put as the one who does all the paperwork. So he's the one signing everything, taking care of everything. Yeah. There's one that I read.
Okay, what would Farrah's signature even look like? She just learned how to fucking
chicken scratch. It would look like a doctor's
it would look awful. It's like you can maybe get off an F and an A, but that's about it.
I'm assuming
just a scribble.
Yeah, I'm assuming either that or she only learned how to write in print. So it's very young
block letters.
Connected.
Yeah, and she holds a pen like this or something rather than even this would be okay. Or some people hold it like this, which is interesting.
No, that she just death grips it.
Yeah, she just in
that's probably how she paints too.
Yeah. I don't even get me started with some of the fans being like, oh, showing how she paints and they're using a makeup brush. It's like, as someone who paints for a living and for their profession and trade, that's not how you hold it.
Yeah,
you get messy. No matter how careful you are, you get messy.
I do it as a hobby, and the way that there's fan art of her in these really nice gowns and stuff. It's like, no, actually, I'm wearing a t-shirt that I stole from a boyfriend 5 years ago. That's what I wear to paint, or a Garfield shirt. I don't try to dress nice.
I bought a lab coat in college, and I used that as my smog. And I swear to God, it is so paint crusted that I could just put it standing up, and it'll just stay there.
Yeah, the paint is starch now with how
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's I
have a few shirts like that.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia wants to know what your plans for the humans are.
Yeah.
So my plans for the humans, now I'm working on this
big plans.
No. So the Empire is called Melgate, and I know it's kind of kicked on you, but it's it's supposed to be Metal Gate, but also it just happens to be like that. Basically.
Oh my God, I laughed at that. It was so funny.
They're not exactly trying to incur onto the Fey realms as much, but they're basically telling them it's look, you cross that line, taps on the side of a tank and being try your best. Basically they're we don't like the Fey, but we also kind of understand that they're also a very good trade partner, so kind of a bit of a cold war between them that may or may not get hot. As for the Koshi war, it's probably better you have them on their side. Basically right now, Melgate's whole sphere of influence is basically pulling in all the despondent human kingdoms, the ones that the queens left.
Mhm.
And very much going into like the reason why they joined willingly is because of they're being given safety, they're being given like food, they're being
Yeah.
given medicine, they're being given all these things that's like, yes, this is a lot better, and this is also something
Mhm.
Vasa has to deal with. I mean, Scythia is
Yeah.
definitely Scythia is the last holdout.
Yeah.
And
So are you
Vasa
gonna
is
do that Jurian and Vasa chapter?
oh yeah, I'm working on it right now.
Okay, good.
Like
Woo!
Jerry and Vasa
I love them
is
together so
definitely like
much.
it's definitely something that they're both trying to do. They're trying to fight for Scythia's
Yeah.
independence, Scythia just not being a part of this bigger human conglomerate,
Yeah.
or at least not like being held under their thumb. But at the same
Mhm.
time, it's really going into like it makes sense why people would want to join up with Melgate because of
Yeah.
just you get all this stuff.
Yeah, right.
And
It's like
it also helps that the leaders are actually there. It's like
there.
as much
Yeah.
as we love Vasa, I truly believe she's a great leader. She's doing everything
Yeah.
she can, but she
Yeah.
only has like only X amount of hours in the day. It's like either
I know.
she's a bird.
Well, 8 hours in the night, to get shit done when everyone
Yeah, but then you
in the
also have to think
kingdom's
about like
asleep.
food,
And like,
sleep.
yeah.
Probably takes out and her changing also probably takes a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and then she's probably like at the end of the day is like, I just want to take a nap.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so
Ugh.
yeah, that's the whole plan. It's like they're not going
Yeah.
to incur, but I definitely am plotting like a war between the Night Court and
Mm.
Melgate,
Yeah.
primarily on the continent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to go back to Jurian and Vasa because I
Yeah,
kind
I
of
know.
left them
I need
hanging.
to do more things with the continent, actually. I
Yeah.
I've been kind of keeping myself away from that.
Me too.
'Cause the
I
way- I
haven't
mean-
roped them in yet.
Yeah, because the way that I wrote my fic, I'm gonna be publishing the second chapter of it in the next day or so, finally. The way I wrote my fic, it's like 5 years after Bryce showed up or so. And so there's some stuff like fairy lights and things like that it has a different name. I can't remember what Azrael says that it's called. But they're like pixie lights or something. I can't remember.
That makes sense.
But I ended up sort of writing it to where like the continent's gonna come into play at some point. I know it is.
It has to.
Dragging
the
my
way-
fucking feet.
The
about
way I'm gonna do
continent.
it is the characters, because I did change the main female's character to Serafina because like Aurora was a
Yes.
nice name, but Aurora
Yes.
and Azrael, it's a little
Yeah.
too cliche. So
Yeah.
It's funny that you
Serafina
mentioned that
is-
name. I actually have
Yeah?
a character that's kind of similar to that in TIA
Yeah?
with this new chapter. Yeah. So I was telling Maddie about like what's going on right now, because I'm
Mhm.
writing it from Leah's point of view right now, and she's kind of
Mhm.
stuck having to go to her father's birthday celebration and being at his compound and everything. And I also mentioned like how many of her family there is, like saying like, oh, Faye have a hard time producing kids. No one told my family this.
Nobody told us. Yeah.
But yeah, and
Because I'm
Lucian,
kind
they're
of
like,
hinting that she
"Fuck that."
might sort of be from, Autumn Court stock, being from Lady A stock.
Yep.
But
Makes sense.
yeah, so there is so I do listen to what you say now. I do listen to your theories and everything.
Aw, thanks.
So like the only person in her family she actually likes and likes her back is a cousin of her, and her name is Sarah Feline,
Oh, I
Oh.
like that. That's very
That's-
Yeah.
pretty.
known
Yeah.
as Sarah for short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's definitely more of like a socialite, like really into fashion, really into like the
Yeah.
latest nightclubs, and she just wants her cousin to come back so they can like hit up clubs again. Just
Yeah.
be like, yeah, like they're close to each other. They are
Yeah.
still
Like
very
a
close.
nicer Bryce and Danica.
Yes, very much so.
A
Like
more compatible Bryce and Danica.
Yeah, right.
right, like when
Friendly.
she pulls when she pulls into the compound, Sarah's like the first person that comes to greet her.
Oh,
Like not even her own
Cute.
siblings or
Yeah.
family members come out to greet her like it's her it's her
Cousin!
cousin. Pretty
Okay,
much.
this is why I was so upset that like Bryce never got to meet like Lucian or Eris.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
why were they not in that fucking book? It drives me insane.
at least Eris. I
because they're
mean,
not
At
marketable
least!
enough.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. Look,
Like,
as much as we like
I know.
Lucian, as much as we like Eris, as much as we like all the other
Yeah.
characters, we have to think about who's
Yeah.
marketable.
yeah.
I mean, Lucian had an excuse though to be in the night court. So the fact that like he wasn't there, Elaine wasn't there, Moore wasn't there, it was just kind of weird that only like half the people were there.
Honestly, I feel like it was a little laziness on Sarah's part of just, oh, I have all these characters. Let me pick and
And I
choose who's
just
gonna
want to
show
do.
up.
Yeah, let me pick and choose which
So
ones
it's
show
easy.
up.
I was upset at that because it's like, all right, but is it going to lead into something? Like if
Yeah,
Elaine and Lucian, in particular, because we know Moore is still probably fucking in Valahan. If Elaine and Lucian are the
Yeah.
two that aren't there, where are they?
yeah,
And does that mean the next book is theirs? But then she has all the shit with Azrael, which
Yeah.
makes it seem like his book is next. So if that's the case,
I honestly,
where were Elaine and Lucian? Were they together? Were they not together?
yeah,
I mean, Lucian obviously could be in the Mortal Lands or in Spring or
Yeah.
whatever. But then again, where the fuck was Elaine?
yeah.
If
Is she
always
just
in the night court.
if she's just in the house and not being involved, like what's going on?
And she was upset that they weren't letting her do stuff in
Yeah.
ACOURTOFLOVEANDHEALING. So it was a little, I don't know, it was kind of like regressive to me that Elaine wasn't there. Like they were shielding her from it or whatever. And I don't know, that kind of bothered me because she was
Yeah.
like, don't do that. But yeah, I feel it was very regressive that Elaine wasn't there because she was
Yeah.
so upset at the end of ACOURTOFLOVEANDHEALING that like they weren't including her and they were, you know, kind of still treating her like a doll to protect. And I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's
that was a
still
good thing I
not
used
being
that
included.
for like the last 2 chapters.
Like she's still not fucking being included if she's
Oh,
there.
God.
And
And
if
if she is
isn't there,
included, if she's
She
included,
is
it's very
insanely
much like
powerful. Use
Yeah.
that.
right. He's the most powerful High Lord.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
and
I
he
also
can't protect
found
Elaine.
it purposeful because she is the seer, and what Reese didn't want her around for this or something.
Nope.
Oh
Weird.
yeah, because she probably would have had something to say to Bryce of just like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, by the way,
By the
let
way,
me do a little seer like forehead touch like
Right.
Voldemort. You know, I can touch you now.
like how
that
did
sort of
she
thing.
not
Like,
see that Bryce was gonna fall into the world? Honestly,
what
the
if
whole
she
thing.
did? And so Reese was like, yes, you're getting locked away. We're not.
locked away.
Love you,
That, I mean,
sister-in-law.
hey, Farrah would
We're
say,
not
okay,
going
they
with
did
these
it
right
Nesta.
now. Yeah.
Elaine, go in the corner.
Right?
We
But
are
see, here's
putting
the
baby
thing.
in the corner.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing when I said
But
that.
see, here's
Yeah.
the thing, like the rest of the inner circle were there, right? So if she is not with Lucian and she is not there, who is she with? Because we know that they are not trusting her to leave on her own unless
Oh,
she
they-
just fucked off and then they're like, we have bigger things to deal with than where Elaine is
It's
right
kind of
now.
like Cormac. You just throw her in a freezer when you need and take her out when you need her.
Like what?
That
I
Mhm.
was really annoyed. I was like, all right, Lucian not being there, okay, fine. He's in the Mortal Lands or he's in Spring, whatever. Elaine
He's doing
not
something.
being there was fucking weird to me. But then they like allude to the fact that like, oh, Elaine is with Nyx and Feyre, and did it like, okay, I guess. But Feyre was still there in the beginning. So if Elaine was there, she should have also been in the living room scene. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's this like
She just didn't
there's
want to
this
write
weird
Elaine as
treatment.
speaking. Yeah.
Right, there's this weird treatment of some of the women in
It's
Mass's books, which is weird. So kind of to go off topic a little bit, I'm going to compare this to kind of recent chapters in Berserk.
Ooh.
So yeah, I know. So basically, now there's a lot of story that happened. So excuse me if I say things that don't really make
paraphrasing.
sense. Oh, I'm paraphrasing like crazy. But basically, it comes down to the character Casca, and so she recently, she's steps of being healed mentally.
Mhm.
But the problem is, she also got kidnapped by Griffith.
So like
And
Nesta.
it kind of, yeah. But the thing is that Griffith is more like Rysand than anything else. Like, he is very much, he looks like the classical hero, like beautiful white hair, kind of looking like the white knight on
Yeah.
a stallion. Which is why the joke is like, yeah, if you show people who are not into Berserk who the hero is between Griffith and Guts, they're always going to lean towards Griffith. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, Guts is actually the hero. Guts is actually the good one. But basically, she is kind of kept in a very doll-like trance. Is like she gets she gets pampered like a lady would. She plays with she plays with the
Yeah.
children. She spends time in the flower gardens. You know, she has
Okay,
attendants
so
waiting on her
Elaine, not
hand and
Nesta.
foot.
Got it.
Yeah, hand and foot. Now keep in mind she's under a trance.
Mm.
But like she sees these soldiers marching by, and she gets visions of like her old life with the Band of the Hawk, or like traveling with Guts and his band. And she starts crying, and they think it's like, oh, the soldiers are scaring her. It's like, no,
Yeah.
that's not why. And then there's another time where she just breaks. Like the illusion breaks. She's trying to get out of there. She is like throwing pots at people. She's
Yes!
trying her best to get away. And
I need Elaine
Griffith
to
puts
do
a
that.
trance on her again. And it's kind of alluded to that this has happened more than once. So yeah,
I could see Reese doing that to Elaine to keep her there, unfortunately.
Right, but I
But
always when they ever mention it, it's like it feels very much like you got to be consistent. Are these women like these powerhouses or not?
yeah.
You have to pick a side and commit.
They are, but I think the problem that she's having is balancing how she wants Reese to appear as the hero while also being the villain, because as we've seen in the last few books, I mean, obviously the first few, but people don't count those. But as we see in the last few books, it's like he's definitely villainous, but to Feyre, he never will be. So to her sisters, they trust Feyre, which they probably shouldn't, but they trust Feyre, which,
Well, it's because they're
she's the one
family.
that got you thrown in the cauldron, by the way.
Oh, they don't need to know that.
They don't need to know that, apparently.
Look, blame Anthe and Jurian and Tamlin and Lucian and Vasa and the gardener and the cook. Blame literally anyone but herself.
Right? But I thought it was really weird because the whole time Nesta is like, Tamlin did this and Anthe did this, and then in Akasif it's like, you did this, right, to Feyre. So she,
what are you talking about?
Somewhere she knows, whether Elaine told her or someone told her, but she kind of knows that Feyre was at fault. But it's weird because I feel like if Reese was doing this to like Elaine in particular, because if he has Elaine, he has Lucian on his side, and Lucian has connections to all the courts, right? Which he's openly said. I feel like Feyre would be like, oh, well, it's for the good of the Night Court, for our allies. And like, she would make an excuse. I don't think she would stand up for Elaine as like a person with autonomy.
No.
The same way that she...
It's a bargaining chip.
She would definitely play it off as, oh, well, keep in mind, I'm the one who saved Prythian and all this other stuff. So I absolutely know what's best for you, even though Elaine and Nesta are older.
Yeah.
And have, you know, lived lives.
To give Feyre a little bit of props, in Akasif, she was kind of fighting Reese a bit more, especially when it came to Nesta. I mean, also, ultimately, she bent, because of course.
But then when she found out Nesta was the only one who told the truth about the pregnancy and Paris was killing her.
That kind of thing that's a little bit important.
I did like that she freaked out a little and was like, what do you mean?
I was mad I didn't
My
see
family's lying to me.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
I wish it could have been like on page. Yeah. Of just, we actually, like, I don't know, Nesta eavesdropped.
The dynamic is going to be crazy in ACOURT 6 because we have that fallout, but then we also have like, again, Feyre wasn't on scene in CC3, which gets me mad too when we actually.
Although understandable because she just had a baby basically.
Yeah.
she's learning motherhood and all that. So
But
maybe
the way that she
that's
seemed-
where Elaine was. Maybe Elaine
Maybe.
and like the Nuala and Caradwin were like helping Farah with Nyx.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
But also the way that she seemed to still be upset at Reese in CC3, which with what was said, where, you know, Nesta and Ember are having that conversation, and Nesta in her head is like, Farah
Which
had
props
told
to
him.
Ember, finally
Yes.
being a positive mother
Right.
figure in her
Yes.
and
I
even though
love
they know each
that.
other for like
I
10
know.
minutes, she's like, look, you're a good
Like she
person.
clocked their bullshit immediately. Like, stop talking to her like that. What the fuck? But the way that Nesta was just like, yeah, Feyre told him to like cut this shit off with like treating me like this. And then he tells Cassian, oh, take her to this place so I can continue to fucking degrade her. And Cassian fucking does it against Feyre's orders. I thought she was your high lady. I thought they were equals. Wouldn't you have to also listen to your high lady? Or no?
No.
Or are they not equals and Reese is still above her? Which is it, Cassian?
Yes.
But they kind of proved that with the pregnancy too, because if they were truly equals, they would say, no, this isn't okay. She's our high lady. She's your equal and she deserves to know. They would have fought him on that, but they didn't.
Right.
So I think the dynamic with Farah and Reese is going to be crazy in ACA 6 because she was upset at him for still talking to Nesta like that. And I want to see her on page upset. I just do. I want to see her upset at him because it's weird that they have never had like an actual argument on page. It's fucking weird to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So any more questions?
How many chapters do you think it's going to be?
For which one?
Witch of the Woods.
Either one.
Witch of the Woods. Maybe 100. I don't know. It's like
I know.
it ends when I feel like it's a good place to end it.
Me too.
Great.
I was always
have
like,
so many
100.
things
I'm
to
at like
read.
84 or whatever, 87, something like that. And now I'm just like, fuck, I don't know.
I'm like
two.
I'm horrible. Like I'm in the 40s and they're still not back in spring.
I'm always like, oh, now I'll do this chapter, now I'll do this chapter, and then I'm like, shit, I never went back to this.
Are you kidding me? Oakengard was only supposed to take when I originally wrote it was like, oh yeah, I get this done 5 chapters. 10 to 15 chapters later.
Never happening.
I wish I had that commitment. I had that commitment in high school. I wish I had it now.
87. Okay, I have to do the last chapter of the You'll Miss fic because I do 1 chapter a year and I'm actually on the last chapter now.
Nice.
And I have like 3 people who have asked me to do a spin-off of it because the last chapter kind of ended off with Lucian gifting Elaine like travel for Solstice and like getting her away from the Night Court, and she was super excited about that. So they're like, please tell me you're gonna write them traveling. And I was like, well, fuck.
That actually sounds great.
Like, well, at least I know what to do next.
But maybe
she finally see the continent.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, I will put it on my roster. Maybe I'll do the spinoff. So I am basically just gonna do like the last chapter with like Lucian and Elaine and some of the inner circle maybe, and then maybe them visiting spring, I don't know, for Christmas or whatever. But that fic actually started out really depressing, which I mean the title, a somber solstice and a yearnful Yumis, come on. It basically
you can't
started
really
out
get any
with,
more like hopeful outside of that.
it was supposed to be a one shot like usual.
Yeah, well,
and like usual, it's not.
It's not. It's like 4 chapters now. But it was supposed to be a one shot, and it was just going to be the deleted scene of when Tamlin asked Lucian to come to Solstice that year after they had their little brawl. And basically, because I love angst and depressing shit, Lucian was supposed to find out that he only asked him to like find his body because he was going to kill himself. And
love it.
So that's actually what happens. He does find his body, and he is I have like
distraught.
I have this like otherworld montage where he's kind of in between life and death, and he's seeing like all his dead people. So like Andrus and my OC Bryn that he was friends with, and Lauren, aka I named her Nova in this fic, who is actually dead in this fic. And he kind of sees like his dead people, and they're like, "What are you doing? Like, Lucian is still your friend. You're gonna all his other friends are dead. We're dead. He still kind of needs you, and you kind of need him. And like, what the fuck are you doing here? Go back to your body." And they
Well,
kind
it's
of
funny.
convince
Jackie
him.
has a saying for people who ever think about like suicide. It's like, think of
Yeah.
if you can't be strong enough for yourself, be strong enough for people
Yeah.
who you'll leave behind.
Yeah. And so he's like, "Well, we haven't been getting along and da da da." And they're like, "That doesn't mean anything. Like, you're still his friend and all this stuff." And he showed up, and he's like, he showed up. And it's just like this really nice, like, heaven scene, which I found funny when Sarah put that scene in CC3 because it was very much like my scene with Tamlin
At
when
this
she's
point,
seeing
I wouldn't be
Danica.
surprised if she looks at like your stuff and like just jots down notes.
Little notes, right?
It's like, how can I
Sarah
change this so
Corsa.
I don't have to pay her?
Literally. But yeah, he basically goes back to his body, and he has to be healed though. And Elaine shows up because she feels Lucian's distress, and it's like this whole kind of thing. And yeah, it was very depressing at first, but it gets better.
Gets better,
And I
yeah.
have to do the last chapter this year, so I find it really funny because I always forget
Right,
about it
so-
until around Christmas time, but
Yeah, and then you're like, oh crap.
crap. Yeah.
So I think Maddie, you were asking me at least via our text of like
Mhm.
the last 2 chapters I wrote with Lucian in it, or at least to go over some things more in it.
Honestly, brain kind of blanked.
Yeah, it's all
I've been
good.
having that issue lately. It just my little memories
Take
are
us
just
through
kinda,
it. Take us through Lucian's arc.
But do it. Just take us through.
Take it
Lucian.
through
Okay,
it.
yeah, so like the last 2 chapters I did was from
Yeah.
Lucian's point of view, primarily of him. So this goes back to like an interlude chapter where he keeps
I
getting
loved
these
it.
letters from
I loved
the
it.
Night Court,
Mhm.
and he's
Mhm.
just been ignoring them. You're like,
As he
yeah,
should.
it's like
And Farrah's like, "Just come. You're gonna come."
basically, yeah, like basically, like even though he's disguising himself as a human and like he has like farmhands being like, hey, another one came in for you. It's like, oh, great.
Great. She's not gonna
Into the
stop.
fireplace.
But like one of the things I wanted to really get across was
Farrah's
his
audacity.
well, not just audacity, but like his falling out with Tam. Because
Yeah.
that's kind of like one of the big things that I have within the 2 years separation is that he and Tam had a really big falling out. And one thing I wanted to
I
really,
hate it.
really hammer in is that both sides are right and both sides were wrong.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of understand both points of view.
Yeah.
And I think I did a fairly
And
decent
it's
job
all
with that.
miscommunication too, because if they just fucking talked about it, they would understand each other
therapy.
more.
I know it very much comes down to like they need therapy, they need better
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like, yeah, from Tam's point of view, this very much feels like, the
Betrayal.
Night Court is very much taking more control of him.
Yep.
From Lucian's point of view, this is like a step into like being more unified.
Yeah.
And and I also wanted to kind of make sure that Tamlin doesn't blame the baby, like doesn't blame
Yeah,
Higgs.
yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
really blame
Yeah, like
Blame the
Like-
actual problems, not the
Yeah.
innocent child that ended up
Yeah.
being created.
right.
yeah, like when Lucian says like he was asked to be
Because honestly,
like a
Tamlin would
knight.
love Nyx. I mean,
Yeah.
I still think he would.
like when Lucian tells him like, oh hey, they asked
Mm.
me to be like the like she had a baby and everything
Messenger.
and be like the knight and
Yeah.
everything. He's like, great.
Lovely.
Like
Yeah.
he's well, it's more like he hates what that's very much like Rasan very much kind of shoving in his face of like, look what
Yeah.
I had and you don't.
Yeah.
Look at
Um,
me, I have a family and you're still behind.
Right?
Yeah.
Legit.
But he's like, but he also
I
knows it's
took
like
your
this
girl
is just
and
a
had the
kid.
son you were supposed to have. Like,
Yeah,
what the
this is
fuck?
just a baby. Like
Yeah.
like this is a very much innocent party. That's why I keep saying, like, yeah, Nyx is probably like the best one there because he's a fucking
He's a
baby.
baby, I know.
Like, he's literally the
Not
only
tainted
innocent
yet.
party. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, so
I just find the headcanon of Nyx being an absolute menace to his parents and just winnowing to spring all the time so fucking hilarious.
oh yeah,
And
like
you know,
there's a sign that says days without Nyx appearing, and it's always stuck on 0. So then, did the whole ball scene. So, him
Mhm.
going back to his apartment in Valaris. His apartment
Yeah.
is like almost like showroom clean
Oh
because he
yeah,
doesn't really
he is
spend any time
totally
there.
yeah,
But he also
totally
mentions
amazing.
like how all his belongings from spring have, they're around, but they're always like
Mhm.
kind of pushed to the back of the
Little
closet
bit
kind of
hidden,
deal. It's
yeah.
like,
Bad
weird.
memories.
Wonder why that is. So he wears
Oh.
the suit that Farrah paid as in like use
Yeah.
her husband's money for.
Yep.
And goes to the party at the House of Wind, and the first person he runs into is Jester. Now, if you haven't really read too much of my stuff, Jester is basically my self-insert. Basically, he's there to be
Yes.
a menace. He's
Yeah.
there to basically say all the things that we
Yeah.
wish we could say
Yes.
to
I
him.
loved it.
Say that. And he also, so he's something called a shaper. The shapers were the ones who created the projects, and they are basically like living embodiments of like feeling or thought. And for him, he's hubris.
Yep. That's so
And
funny.
he doesn't hide who he is. Like, he basically
And Reese is probably
tells.
like, get the fuck out of my court.
Well, he is, but he also knows that Nyx likes him.
I know.
Like, he makes Nyx laugh.
He's like,
so it's
shit.
like, crap.
Crap.
So basically, here's Jester just being a menace to like everyone at the party. And it's, of course, his favorite punching bag is Cassian.
Love it. 100%.
But like, he
No
basically, and he also puts Lucian on stand, basically saying like, okay, here's the thing: if he can say something clever, I'll leave you guys alone for the rest of the night. And Lucian just basically goes, something clever. And he's like, oh, yep, fell into that one. Yeah. But one thing I really wanted to mention is that Jester can really play with time and space. So he basically just rewinds it to like
Time
points
magic.
where, either he's not going to be in trouble or like it's going to be back where it started. But there's always going to be like these like weird parts, like Lucian suddenly feels kind of nauseous. He doesn't know how he got his drink or why half of it's gone.
Yeah.
So he's like, wait,
I think that's so
how
funny.
did you get here? Mhm.
It's kind of like, I know I always reference freaking Charmed, but it's like the amount of times that Piper freezes time like in public and then like moves around. I'm like, nobody is like noticing that like a bunch of people have moved around all of a sudden without them seeing them walk. I don't know. The logistics is just hilarious to me.
Well, it's funny because one of the inspirations for that is is from a 40K book. It's called The Infinite and the Eternal, which I always say, if you want the closest thing to comedy Warhammer has, it's that. It's basically these two Necron lords. One of them's Trazyn, the Eternal, who's basically a giant kleptomaniac. Like, this guy wants to build like the greatest museum piece in existence because being a Necron, you're kind of bored. And he's going against this one who's I forgot his name, but he can basically play with time. So he has him on trial. And whenever the court's not going in his favor, he just rewinds time to a point where he can change it to be in his favor, whether it be like changing the circumstances or going as far as literally changing the people who's trialing him. Like, he literally changes the judges.
You really can't fight someone with time magic, honestly.
And Trazyn's like, you motherfucker, he's changing time. Which is one of the funniest parts, is like, hey, you can't do this, you're fucking changing time.
Yep.
And Trazyn whole logic is basically random bullshit. Go.
Yeah.
Like
I
this guy
actually
literally.
go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say this guy literally captures like almost an entire planet of Eldar Exodites who are basically
Mhm.
Eldar Amish who ride around on dinosaurs just because
Mhm.
he wanted a museum piece.
Yeah. No, time
Hmm.
magic is like really hard to write. Like
Yeah, so
really
I use it very
difficult to write
sparingly.
in a way. Like when I was writing my book, I have a side character that has like the ability to slow or freeze time. He's only
Hmm.
used it a couple times, and it was only to like help his girlfriend who is, like an oracle. And she
Hmm.
gets these really like crazy like dizzy spells when she goes into a vision or whatever. But
Yeah, it makes sense
I'm
so she
like,
doesn't hurt herself.
yeah. So there's like a part in the book where there's chaos after something happens and like everyone's running out the door and like she has a vision in the middle of like the crowd and she's like drop
Middle of
it.
a
Like,
stampede, yeah,
yeah.
so
So he's
make sure
like,
she doesn't get
no, and he
trampled.
like freezes time. Yeah. And at that point, like he didn't know that she had this gift, because she thought that she was powerless when she was born. It's like a whole side plot thing.
Hmm.
And it was really cute because she's like, "What did you do?" He's like, "Oh, I froze time." He's like, "When did you start having visions?"
Yeah.
And it was like a really cute, it was kind of like a really cute start to their relationship because they started out as friends who basically just came back into each other's lives after like school and college and all that. And I have to kind of think of a way to use his magic again that isn't just kind of like willy-nilly, like, oh, just to protect my girlfriend or just to do this or just to do that. For
Hmm.
convenience, I actually want to use it for like the
Well, it
cliffhanger, but there's so many characters with so many magics that I'm
yeah,
like,
it's like you
I
have
don't
to
know.
kind of play with the outcomes and everything.
Yeah.
Now something about Jester is that he actually
Yeah.
does like Elaine. He likes
Mm-hmm.
Elaine, he likes Lucian. He
Yep.
actually made Tamlin get up from almost dying,
Get
basically
up.
saying to, no, he basically told him like, "Hey, you better wake up before you forget how to."
Yep.
But one chapter I wrote was with Elaine is
Mhm.
basically him telling her a story, and he basically just like literally jumps out into the air, stands on it like it's a stage, and pulls the clouds down to basically use as marionettes.
That is actually so cool.
Hmm.
Because you can see that,
But
like you can visualize that too.
uh-huh. Now, one of the things with the vision with Elaine is that she ends
Mhm.
up having all these visions
Yep.
basically all at once, and Lucian, because of the bond, gets pulled
Yeah.
to him, and she gets pulled into it, and that leads to
Hmm.
the room of the stained glass windows, which
Hmm.
has all these like different visions, and you know, she basically says like they're all lies, and Lucy asks like, "How do you know they're truth? How do you know they're not
Yeah.
truth?" And she goes, "Because a lie is just a truth that hasn't happened, that's came true, that's happened." It's
Yeah.
like, and he's like, "Okay, that kind of makes sense."
Hmm.
And one of the things that she sees are things that are possible to
Hmm.
happen, other things that has happened, such as cover like Under the Mountain,
Hmm.
which was a big one. And very much showing
Love
that,
it.
Rusan kind of, manipulated
Hmm.
mentally Farah and drugged
Yeah.
her.
Aw.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I
so
can't wait for Elaine to slap the shit out of Reese. I'm sorry. I need it to happen.
so funny. It's like when it got so, he basically he has to say like, yeah, this really did just happen. It's like
Yeah.
as much as it's dark, like it's sad to say it, like yes, this is what happened. But something
Hmm.
that the windows show her is also Tamlin's reaction to all of this, like the fact that he couldn't do anything.
Yep.
And really going against the whole narrative of like, oh, he didn't do anything, he only wanted to do this and this. It's like, no, he
Hmm.
didn't. He very much literally couldn't do anything.
I know, yeah.
Like something that always gets me annoyed is when they say like, "Oh, Tamlin just wanted to fuck Farah." It's like, no, he didn't. He wanted to kiss
No,
her, and that
he
was it.
didn't. It was the opposite.
Yeah,
Very
she was the one going
obviously
for
the
his
opposite,
belt.
right?
Mhm.
That pisses me off so much. Pisses me off so much.
I
I
know.
have to add so much to like to the plot of mine. Like there's just so much shit. Like, obviously, there's just so much shit, like preparing for the Koshi War and all this stuff. But like, I I plan to rope the continent into it. I had this thing where Elaine had this really creepy vision. Not really a vision, but she kind of got pulled in by Koshi. So it's like a
Hmm.
partial vision, partial like astral projection type thing. And she gets to see like her father's spirit. And her father is like kind of talking cryptically in the end. And he's like, oh, you kind of got to figure it out yourself. And she's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And basically, I was going to write it where, you know, Papa A had a Fey mate on the continent. And his Fey mate, since, in my fic, they were human at one point, because I'm not going to go into the whole Papa A, Mama A bloodline thing here. But basically, his Fey mate was giving him visions of what was going to happen to his daughters way back when. And so he kind of is like, oh, you got to figure out this and you got to figure out this. And she's like, just tell me. And like, it's this whole thing
I
where
always find problems with like why they can't give straight answers
I know.
to kind of be a little
Yeah.
annoying. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't read Howl's Moving Castle, but I'm going with the hello, Misty. Sorry,
Mm.
my dog decided to make herself known. Hello.
Hi, puppy.
Yes, hello. Anyways, so in it, in the at least the movie wise, Sophie can't talk about her curse
Hmm.
because it just causes her mouth to kind of like sew itself shut
Oh
almost.
my gosh.
Or
Oh my God.
and I'm always like, see, that's an interesting one. Like
Mm.
that's a good way of like why they can't just give the answer out is because literally the curse won't allow you to talk about the curse. Like
Yup.
even if you try to like write it, draw it, say anything about it, nope, can't do it.
Hmm.
Like Sanderson did that in Tessa the Emerald Sea, which I highly recommend you read. It's a really good book. It's very Princess Bridey.
Natalie is I think the voice of the main character in the audiobook.
Yeah, she is.
Same person, who plays Nesta, so
Hmm.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good one. But yeah, so they see the visions, and Elaine has to come to grips that, yeah, Brisanna
Yeah.
did this to her sister, and she is pissed.
Mhm.
But when Lucian comes out, they're separated. Like he's in Brisanna's office
Ah!
with more
Frustration.
and with more and Cassian there,
Fuck.
while Nessa Farah, um, and kind of Azrael is in the like kind of hanging out in the distance. Oh, also I threw in a Gwyn in there because I knew you would be happy with that.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
I was.
Yep. So, anyways, he finds it a little weird. It's like, wait, who's this fourth person here with us? And it's a character named Rhiannon,
Mhm.
and she states that, yeah, I'm Tamlin's maid, and he's like, what? Like basically, like you're kidding, right? Like this is impossible.
Yep.
And he basically points out like how literally none of this is possible. Like basically, like wait, you're telling me that all this time, um, neither Tamlin nor the Cauldron knew you existed, and she's
Mhm.
basically says like, well, sometimes it takes a while to manifest or like to appear, and he's like, oh, this seems very convenient now, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, like he's very much like the something's going on here, and I don't know what. Um, but basically, comes down to Rasan kind of guilt tripping him, saying like, hey, you were the one who told me that we needed Spring whole and Tamlin healthy, so
There you
this is a way
go.
to do it. So here we go.
There you go.
So you better find Tamlin. He's like, fine, I'll go to Spring and I'll look for
Right.
Tamlin and try to pave the way for this. This is ridiculous, but I want
Right.
Elaine to come with me. He basically puts his foot down, saying like, "I want Elaine to come with me."
Yay!
And he's basically, and Rasanne's like, "No,
No. And he's like,
no."
Elaine's like,
And
what do you mean no? I'm a grown ass person.
yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So basically, he says,
The fuck you mean no?
basically, there's a moment where when I mean Lucienne, basically tells
Yeah.
him, is like, "Huh, wow, keeping her safe in this secluded area away from everyone. Huh,
Interesting.
kind of sounds kind of familiar. Kind of sounds like something that Tamlin did." Like, he says all these things,
Don't
especially in his
compare me to
mind,
him.
and
Well,
doesn't
you're
give a
worse.
crap. Like, he says all these things in his mind and doesn't give a crap if Rasanne can hear him or not. So then the doors burst open, and Elaine is on a war path, and
I need it.
Lucien's like, "Oh my god, I have never been so turned on before in my life."
Right?
Though, to be fair, while they were in the, I forgot to mention, while they were in the room
Mhm.
of the stained glass, I did allude to Jasminda with
Oh,
the butterfly.
yes, yes, yes.
So
Ah!
it's like, I do recognize she existed and how much
Yeah.
pain that causes
Yeah.
Lucien. It's just I didn't want to focus on that at that
Yeah.
moment.
Mm.
And basically she says like, "The fuck do you mean? No, I'm a grown woman." And of course Ferris kind of like, "Calm down." He's like, "No, I'm not gonna calm
I
down."
gotta calm down. Don't tell me to calm down, bitch.
And Nessa's like,
I
"Yeah,
need
go."
Farrell-Lane. I need
Uh-huh.
Farrell-Lane so much. You have no idea.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
yeah. Oh, Sarah.
like, the only person who I don't have there is Amryn, and
Hmm.
basically I just said like, "Oh yeah, she just couldn't be bothered."
I
It's
have
like,
only written
if it doesn't
one
affect her,
fucking
then she doesn't
Amryn scene
care.
this whole thing. It's 87 chapters. I have like one Amryn scene.
Like, I don't even know what to do with
Be
her. It's
honest.
like, what
I don't
what do you
either.
do? Like,
What
you
do
and
you
Morris, like, what
do?
do you do
I just
outside
had
of just
her-
getting drunk?
Yeah, I mean, because she could fly when she was like whatever, I just had her Fey power be like levitation, so Varian was just like training her how to control that. And that was literally like the only scene I had of them.
Oh, speaking
Because
of
I
as
have
a
so many
joke,
other things to do.
as a joke, I kind of have it where like Cole from TIA, like, he could outdrink literally all of them and be like, "Huh, young, so uppity. Yes, I know you're here." hmm Yeah, sorry. She has her own opinion. She's a very opinionated girl.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, she basically goes up to Rysand and says 7 words to him, and he's like, "I need to get you out of here."
He's like, all right, fine, bye. You're more trouble than you're worth.
Well, it's more like she just says to him, "I know what you did to her." That's basically it. It's like,
Oh,
she knows
that'll
exactly
shake
what she
him.
did. Yeah, like, he is completely shaken up. So it's like, fine, just get the fuck out of here. And
Touche.
yeah, so basically
Checkmate,
that's where I'm at the moment. Mhm. I know, I love you too.
I cannot wait for the day, for real. I just
I hope it comes.
foreshadowing of her being like, you can't say that like I can't do shit just because I like to garden, and did it like, come on. It was
Just because you like the garden doesn't mean you're useless. I mean,
Yeah. She's
like,
you can't say that I have to keep to my little garden and I can't do anything greater. Like, hello, foreshadowing.
oh, I have her do something greater. Like, she accidentally birthed a forest near the House of Winds by accident.
She just covered the fucking river house in thorny vines because you pissed her off.
Uh-huh.
I do think it would be interesting if she had like a green thumb like that, because I think that, you know, in exchange for maybe helping Lucian with Tamlin could train her in that sort of thing.
Totally. Like,
Or at least to like maybe control it. But
Oh, yeah,
even
that's
with Tamlin, like, we don't know all of his powers even.
it's
Like 5 books in as an
to be fair, we only know a few things. One, he can shapeshift. 2,
Yeah.
he can kind of control wind.
Yeah.
In 3, apparently he's so powerful he can knock down a fucking mountain by just waving his hand.
Yeah. Literally.
It's like,
So-
wait, where was that power?
Yeah, and he can hear Feyre's thoughts enough to respond to her verbally, which
Which is
again is
something
weird.
that still doesn't make any sense to me when
You
it comes to
think-
like her like throwing up and everything,
Yeah.
that he did nothing. I'm like, I
Yeah.
highly doubt that.
Yeah. I
Now,
mean, I do kind of believe how like, all right, well, they kind of agreed that Amarantha won't win if we don't acknowledge our shit, which that is the
Stupid.
stupidest fucking logic I have ever
Well,
heard.
Yeah,
that is, like,
they're
such
in denial
19-year-old
about
bullshit.
their trauma.
Denial. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it was denial and it was avoidance. And
But I have
yeah,
headcanon. Tamlin didn't help with her vomiting and stuff because he has a fear of it.
probably.
Because if my partner
Probably.
were to be vomiting and stuff, I'd be like, "Hey, I love you. No, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna cover my head and not listen to it. But
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
I hope
And
you get
also
better."
Tamlin, we know that Tamlin vomited when he saw the wings that his
Yeah.
father cut off, and we know
Mhm.
that he vomited when
Yeah,
Lucian
so
was
probably.
dumped with his eye gouged out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
it's
it's probably,
probably
like, a
PTSD
trigger.
sound.
Yeah, he's probably like, "Oh shit."
ooh,
He might
Uh-huh,
be fighting
and
off his
Shudders
nausea
turns
only-
into his mini beast form. Just keeping
Right, and the only
watch.
thing I can definitely possibly say is that he has, like, going with the beast part, like, he
Yeah.
sees this as a weakness, so
Yeah.
food, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Jackie, for a while, had some kind of condition that would constantly make her throw up, so I would always be there helping her, rubbing her
Yeah.
back, getting her water and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I get it. Trust me, I
Mhm.
get it. But,
It's literally the worst thing ever.
I had a
Ugh,
similar
I wouldn't
condition,
recommend it.
and I specifically told people the opposite of "Don't
Do
help me,
not
don't
touch
help
me.
me,
I
don't
hate
touch
Don't look at me,
don't
don't
hear
help
me.
me.
I'm just
Don't look
gonna
at me,
lock
don't touch
myself
me,
in the
don't hear me."
bathroom, have some music, and I'm just gonna cry it all out. Just
Yes.
leave
Fair
me
enough.
alone.
If it works,
There
it
were
works.
many a nights I slept in the bathtub because I was just like, I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be looked at. Just leave me alone. Because honestly, there was a part of me that was like, I am sick. Like I'm
Yeah.
weak. I don't want people seeing me weak when they've seen me strong so long.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
And,
think honestly, like in terms of like even like pregnancy, like even in the future, right?
yeah,
I think the vomiting thing, like the nausea thing, that fucking freaks me out the worst. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to be sick every single day. That's awful.
there are
can't
studies
handle
that
it for 2
show
days.
Like,
I can't
it
handle
has to
it
do
for
with
2
the man though. As long as the man's health is good, you're less likely to have morning sickness and stuff like that.
The fuck?
Okay, I didn't know
Which,
that.
if
Yeah.
it has to
Yeah.
do with sperm health and just
Yeah.
the body's health in general. So if they are so healthy, 6 packs and eat this great food, then they probably don't really have morning sickness.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly.
that's what
Like, let's face
terrifies
it,
me.
she doesn't exactly know how health works in some of these books.
Yeah.
It's like,
But I mean,
yes.
Lady A had so many kids. She probably knows.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
hell, Baron's 1100 and still kicking. So
That's right,
he
1100.
has to
I
have
thought it
good
was-
health.
And don't even get me
5,000,
started
yeah.
with the for some reason we can't heal these wings, even though we have like some of the best healers on the planet, and God
Yeah.
forbid you have to have a C-section.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, okay, little controversial. I think after Crescent City and knowing that the Asteri literally made the Illyrians as like a fuck-ups of the first prototype of angels, I think that makes a little bit more sense. Why
Fair.
the Fae are like, well, how do you really heal like bony wings and not feathery ones? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think they
They
had that
aren't
much
used to the
practice.
cartilage. They're used to
And-
like the feathers and stuff.
Yeah, because the feathery ones are obviously like bendy when you're little and, you
Yeah.
know, whatever, which is what they basically said, which is why they couldn't help, Nyx in utero. But also the Illyrians keep to themselves. They don't branch out. They don't
Yeah, they
talk
don't they don't
courts.
crossbreed.
So they don't really crossbreed. They
Oh, God.
interbreed.
Ugh.
So,
God, I don't want to think about how much
there's-
inbreeding is going on.
right? So I mean, even
Went
the
from-
High Fae with
Looking like the
Cormac,
royal
oh yeah,
family.
siblings used
Went
to
from
marry
Greece to
siblings.
Alabama like that.
Yeah. I mean, again,
Sweet
in
home
Tog and Cormac saying in Crescent City, oh, they always wanted the high fae bloodlines pure, especially the royals. So siblings would marry siblings, aunts would marry nephews. Like they're all inbred.
It also
But
makes
I'm
me
saying, like,
wonder,
the
how are they
specific-
so
they-
attractive when they're inbred, you know?
Right. Well,
Like,
because they're immortal magical creatures and not humans.
right,
That's
but
why.
DNA is,
I
you
know,
know,
but yeah.
unless, you know, they could just do that.
I don't know.
I guess. Yeah, sorry if I was looking at my phone. Jackie sent me a text of like her testing out all this makeup and she looks amazing.
Oh,
Of course she does.
Of course she does. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like I mean, Fae probably don't have like birth defects and shit. So because
Well, I mean,
they're
when you
magical
have
and
magic
immortal and
and
heal,
they have
they
like
heal
stupidity is a birth
themselves.
defect.
So
Sorry, Liv.
Well, I
when
would
you
say they
hear
probably
this.
don't have physical ones, but they probably would have
Physical ones.
mental ones. Like
They
if
have
we're going
mental
like
ones.
the Targaryens, for
yeah,
example, like
exactly.
like whenever a new
Yeah.
Targaryen is born, God flips a coin kind of deal, whether or not they're gonna be crazy or not.
Sane or insane? Well,
Yeah,
Reese,
sane or insane? Let's test.
Reese, insane. Lauren, sane. Like what?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that they honestly have no sense of knowledge about the Illyrian wings because of how, you know, secluded and isolated the Illyrians are, and because they were created and not really like born. So that type of bony structure, I guess, is going to be
Yeah, the
harder to
membrane,
heal
but
than
at
like
the same time,
feather,
it's
you
still
know?
skin on, going on. So
Yeah.
like they can,
Yeah. I mean, Maja
again,
does
wave.
patch like the membrane part when it's like, you know, when they get ripped,
Yeah,
obviously.
but if it's like the bone part, kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I wanted to mention this a while back when it comes to
Mhm.
like Rhysand of like his character being like, this morally gray individual,
Morally
which
gray. Morally
like
dark.
his moral compass is a roulette wheel. I swear to
Yeah,
God.
morally dark.
Mhm. And the thing is that he's not though. Like I've read actual morally gray individuals in fiction. Like few I can think of off the top of my head are Dalinar Kholin from the Stormlight Archives, Kelsier from Mistborn,
Mm.
Askeladd from Vinland Saga, Guts from Berserk, and
Yeah.
one who I wanted to bring up was Jaime Lannister from A Song of Ice and Fire. Now, the reason why I see Jamie as like one of my favorite characters is because for like almost like 2.5 books, I wanted this guy's head on a pike. But then when we get the bath scene, which I think chapter 54 was trying to be. Yeah, I know. I see the eye rolling. I see it.
We went off about that the other day.
Yeah. The thing is that the reason why the bath scene for Jamie works better than for chapter 54 is we see Jamie at his lowest at that point. Like at that point he is, he's spent like a book and a half in a dungeon. So his muscles have kind of atrophied a bit.
Yep.
He's not in his best health. His dominant hand is gone, so he's suffering from that plus sickness.
Rune Dannon.
But like it's been chopped off, and there's no magic putting that puppy back on.
Unfortunately, there. Yeah.
And
Sarah takes
he's
so much inspiration from these types of shows, and
there's nothing wrong with that, but you also have
Yeah.
to think about like the weight behind these things.
Yeah.
So like, he's also like Jamie's an older individual. He's in his 40s.
Yeah.
So he's not
From
the young
Outlander,
man.
right? Is that the show?
No, Song of Ice and Fire.
Song of Ice. Okay.
He's
babies.
so he's not a young man anymore. He's not like the young beautiful knight that he was anymore. So when he's talking to Brienne in the tubs in the hot springs, he's at his lowest moment. And he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's basically delirious at this point. And what he's talking about primarily is why he killed the king, why he killed Ares the Mad. And that was because Ares was basically going to set the whole place on fire. He was going to set all King's Landing on fire. And he stopped him. Which, yes, sounds heroic. That sounds like something a hero would do. The problem is, he was part of the King's Guard. King's Guard aren't supposed to kill the king. It's like the Secret Service killing the president.
Right? Oops.
Yeah, oopsies. Like,
morality over loyalty.
Well, yeah, and something he mentions both in the show and the books is like, you make all these oaths, eventually they're gonna contradict each other.
Yeah.
Eventually you gotta know which oath you're gonna give up on first. So again, what makes him interesting is that he's constantly being called the Kingslayer, but him killing the king was probably his greatest moment of heroism. Like, he probably saved more people than were killed. And again, that going back to chapter 54 is like, that was more of a whole excuse syndrome. Rhysand didn't lose anything.
I know.
He didn't lose anything. Like, he hasn't lost his hand. He's not sick. He's not.
I cannot deal with these people that were like, all his sacrifices and all his sacrifices. What sacrifices? What are you talking about?
Sacrificing everyone else around him.
What the fuck are you
that.
talking about right now? He's not the victim. He's the second perpetrator.
Exactly.
He's pisses me off.
Like, whenever I see pictures of him being tortured by Amarantha, I'm like, oh no. Anyways.
Oh no. Anyway.
I'm a little more
has, the puppet strings, and I was like, he's the puppet master, though.
I'm a little.
He's the one that made her want him. What?
Empathetic of it, just because it is still a form of trauma. But
I mean, yeah,
that he put on himself.
Yeah, but at the same time, sometimes you do have to hold yourself accountable if you put yourself into that.
Doesn't do.
Like in real life, there are people who are like, I keep choosing really bad people. Because you're doing that. That's on you. Yes, it sucks you're going through it, bud.
Which not to bring up,
hold yourself accountable.
Yeah,
right.
And not to bring up
even in your story.
Yeah.
Something I really liked was when Elaine was basically holding him accountable, is that he said oh, I didn't have a choice. It's like, and Elaine's like, you are the one with power. You had power. No one else did.
That's the thing. He kept going. SJM made him say things like canon of, I tried to change it, but every time I tried doing something, she made me service her. Bro, not to be vulgar, you're literally inside her. She is the most vulnerable she's going to be.
Fucking choke her out.
I don't know,
Mr. Play with her mind. I know he's not a Benny Gesserit, but
I know he's not.
Somehow develop an STD.
He's fucking Mr. He literally tells Farrah, it's just as easy as this, and misses a fucking lemon. So you couldn't have done. You might have risked your favorite appendage, but
listen, devil's advocate. I fucking hate Rhys, but devil's advocate. I think that misting was probably the one power that she did steal from him, specifically because of that.
Yeah, probably. And I have to nerf this guy somehow.
Yeah, and he claims that her mental shields were too strong.
Well, keep in mind, Hybern did have Daimati, so she most likely did have training specifically against that too.
Exactly.
Similar to how
Farrah told us he's the strongest, the greatest, yada yada.
And he's the strongest High Lord. That doesn't mean he's better than whoever's in Hybern.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, the king was stronger.
Oh, and don't even get me started with people saying oh, well, it was Feyre who saved everyone under the mountains. Like, bitch, she only saved Spring.
Honestly, it was a collaboration effort.
It was a collaboration effort, but Tamlin,
she couldn't even read a fucking.
She only saved Spring because at the very last minute, she was like, "Oh, it's love.
Oh, it's because I love, bro. It's not that hard. I figured it out.
Literally, I love
Amarantha is what saved the rest of fucking Prithian.
Maybe it's because I could read the riddle and it's not being told to me in a life or death situation. But
Farrah, you're a
It
little
was
stupid.
still
Yeah, but
fucking
Farrah
obvious.
even admits she had a lot of time in her cell to think about it.
Yeah, and instead she was, oh
Uh,
no, it's your dad. Bro,
yeah,
try to
and if
figure out a
Reese
way
hadn't
out.
fucking drugged her, then maybe she would have more time instead of puking for 4
And
days
sleeping.
and fucking sleeping
Yeah.
and
Her
getting
body was being
sepsis.
literally broken apart.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
like
ugh.
it pisses me off. And the same thing with, I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but the same thing with, Nesta and Hybern. Oh, Elaine is the Kingslayer. Elaine is the Kingslayer. No, she fucking wasn't. Yes, she saved Nesta and Cassian by stabbing him. The minute she stabbed him, she was shocked and she stumbled back from it. The king was still grabbing at the blade on
Yeah.
his throat. He was not dead
Yeah,
until
it-
Nesta sawed his
Elaine-
head off.
Yeah, Elaine
It was
doesn't like
Nesta.
killing. Like, she doesn't
Yeah.
like violence.
No.
Yeah.
And even Lucian, like, as her mate, gives her credit. And he's like, I heard you slayed the king of Hybern. And she's like, it was Nesta. I just stabbed him. So, like, people are like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the
Like,
Kingslayer,
yeah,
Elaine's the
great
Kingslayer.
assist.
She's not, and she doesn't want to be.
Now, in the book, it makes sense. People are going to be like, "Oh, Elaine stabbed him," and it's going to get twisted around of, "Oh, she's the one who killed him."
But she's not.
Elaine is at least did the right thing of being like, "Actually,
Yeah.
it was Nesta," which
Yeah.
is something that Reese seems to fucking forget. That Nesta can point her finger and say,
Farrah
"I'm
would
gonna
never
kill
be like,
you."
oh, actually, Tamlin saved the other 6 courts. She's only the curse breaker in spring. So it made
Yeah,
no
only in spring.
fucking sense
Yeah.
that people in summer were calling
Don't
her a
even-
curse
sorry,
breaker.
I'm having people see her as like the curse bringer because of like
Yeah.
like in spring they hate her now.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, like
Now,
one of those
yeah.
nicknames that does make sense is Helion being called Spell Cleaver because everybody knows him as the one
Yeah.
who kind of creates this stuff.
Yeah.
And we see Reese and Farrah, Reese really using him to
Mhm.
shield Farrah. So it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, no, Helion is Spell
Yeah.
Cleaver. Like that's
Yeah.
understood. He's the
yeah,
one
that
who
makes
fought
total
against
sense.
Hybern's
Yeah.
mage and
Yeah.
really was like toe to toe with that because he was struggling a little bit while this mage is like, haha, I got you. So,
Oh my god, that scene gave me so much stress because it was like, oh, the Hybern soldier didn't even have a weapon. He just had, the amethyst
Yeah.
light. I was like, fucking fuck, he's gonna kill Helion. And granted, the one thing that Amryn was good for was fucking keeping Helion alive because she smoked that motherfucker. But I was
Yeah.
like, he was going to die because Hybern has fucking second light magic from wherever from all the fucking dead people here. And obviously the Prithian people don't know that because they're not in tune with the Crescent City people. And
Nope.
they don't have the spell book. So I still believe that the Hybern spellbook is the original Asteri spellbook, and it basically tells them how to like harness first light and second light and things like that, because the parasite is what Amarantha used to suck their powers into herself. That
Right,
is the
and-
same exact thing as what happened in Crescent City with the water, but she just used it in wine. And even the Asteri, when they were using the stolen powers of the people of Lunathian, they pretended that they were, these stars and they glowed with white light. That was stolen Starborn magic.
Yeah.
And Amarantha also glowed white with light when she was using stolen magic. And then after, when Tamlin broke the curse by ripping her throat out, she's lashing out with him with dark magic, which is the truest Asteri magic. So the fact that Hybern had like the eerie amethyst light, and I was like, that's literally the light from all the dead. This is light from people that they killed, which made sense because again, the children of the blessed were all murdered there. That's how he probably procured second light from their souls. Because he does attack them with the amethyst light when they are at the camp and are escaping, and then he does it again when they're on the battlefield. And the battlefield is when his soldiers were strongest, because obviously the more people that are dying, the more second light you're going to procure. And that's
Yep,
why that soldier was
sense.
so
So, like-
overpowered.
Like, don't get me
more
wrong,
than
there
a
are
Highlander.
parts of CC that I love.
Yeah.
It's just like it's weird. It's like I like everything outside of like the main group.
You always do.
It's just I want to explore that part more. Like that's
Right.
why I wrote TIA, because it's like I want to
Yeah.
explore these other sections more. I
Yeah.
want to know what. Now, granted, this happens like
Yeah.
before the events of Caesar, so
Yeah.
not to.
But I'm really curious
with
to
it.
see where she's going to take it in book 4. Obviously, we have the romances and all of that stuff with like Therian and Perry and Sathya and Colin and, you know, all those other people.
Well,
But then you also have like, all right, so how
do we rebuild? Like, how
yeah,
are we?
how do we
How can we
rebuild whatever?
fix?
Yeah.
How can we literally fix this stuff? Because,
I
like, yeah,
know.
first light is gone, which is
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
but now it's like
Yeah.
she has the amulet that's like
Yeah,
the
Jessica
original
gave her the
power,
amulet, which is like the
but
reset button for the world. But it's like, is that really gonna be all? She's gonna press a button and it's just gonna all be hunky dory, or
I hope not. Like, it's just I do
yeah,
think it does fix certain things, but it
yeah,
also
it
is
will,
like people
but
need to kind of like okay, we got rid of the old established
yeah,
when now what?
now what? Yeah. So I'm like,
Because
because we know that there were only humans, like the priestesses, that had a little bit of magic, and mer people that were the original people of the planet. So there wasn't enough. I don't think there's going to be enough magic to sustain Fae there. You
yeah,
know,
it's not gonna help Faye. It's not gonna help the Vanir
wolves.
as
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
I
So
think she might have them go back to Prithian, but even then, it's like, huh, do I really want to go back to a place I don't know and is
yeah,
technologically regressed from
yeah,
us? No, I'm staying here.
yeah. And I mean, would I know it was always an Asteri tactic, but she is also like, well, do we ask people to still do a magical tithe for the sake of like the whole planet? And they just give a little bit of magic so then everybody can have magic and all our tech and everything can be infused. And I think that's where like that morality thing stems from because while yes, with the Asteri, it was innately evil because there wasn't consent. Maybe it would be different if people are willingly giving
Hmm.
because that's originally
I
what the tithe
mean,
was,
true, but at the
obviously. But
same time, I do think
yeah,
like
but
the
it can't forget.
Fae will definitely try to find loopholes and put it on the Vanir, and the Vanir don't want to do it,
Yeah,
so they put it
yeah,
on the humans, and the humans
yeah.
literally can't do it.
They don't have
So,
magic. Yeah.
so
So
yeah, I think it's gonna be a big. I want to give her the
clusterfuck.
benefit of the doubt. I want to give
Yeah,
her the benefit of the doubt and say like,
yeah.
hey, maybe this is what she's planning.
Mm.
I'll believe it when I read it.
Yeah, it's because you can't really force anybody to do it. And obviously, like the older Fae are going to be like, I'm not giving anything, and you took away our title. So should we do this for, these
Exactly.
people that we
Or
don't
they'll
even
find,
like?
or
And
they, like I said, they'll use loopholes
yeah,
in the
yeah,
law, being like, oh, I can't really do it
yeah,
now. Maybe next
yeah.
month,
Right?
this or
Yeah.
that.
Like taxes.
Exactly.
The tithe. But I do find it very interesting that we kind of got that. I mean, I kind of felt validated that the tithe in spring kind of started, with Hybern and Amarantha way back when, Tamlin's bloodline, whatever, because they were besties with Hybern. Um, and so I think that was why, they called it a tithe. But I think over time it just evolved into like, okay, well, your taxes are due,
Yeah, your
because
taxes are
when
due as long as it
yeah,
benefits
instead of, oh,
spring.
give
I
us
don't
your
really care what it
magic,
is.
it's, oh, taxes.
Yeah,
And
give
I don't
us
think
like,
Tamlin knows that,
and it's probably
unfortunately.
better he doesn't. Not that I
I
think he
know.
would.
Yeah.
Like, not that I think he
Take
would go
magic from
crazy with
people.
power.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't. He would just be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, then I'm not doing it anymore
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. But
Um,
I
uh,
hated how Amryn, like, she's such a wild card because she just lies about everything. Like, Feyre straight up asked her, like, oh, what about the tithe? And she's like, what do you mean a tithe? She's like, the Spring Court has a tithe. She's like, oh, we don't have like a tithe. There's like taxes, but I don't know what you mean by a tithe.
Same thing.
Like,
Same
you
fucking thing.
fucking. But then she was like, oh, yeah, the tithe that the Daglin used to make us do. Bitch, you said you didn't know what a tithe was. What? Oh,
Again,
yeah, I
I
knew who
truly believe
Thea
it's
and
because Sarah
Peleus
doesn't read
were,
her own work.
right? I knew who Thea and Peleus were, but you didn't say anything. when Nesta asked you about Lanthus and the Wild Hunt and all that shit, and you said that they threw you in the prison because they thought you were one of the bad guys. Liar! What the fuck?
He thought, sure.
Right.
So are there any more questions that you guys have that
Well,
I could
I
expand
was
on?
just gonna ask you if you have anything planned for Tamlin Week
For Tamlin Week, I don't know.
yet.
When is Tamlin Week this
It
year?
is April 12th to 18th.
Well, I got some time, so
It's
maybe
time.
I might draw a piece or two,
Yeah.
or do like a romantic scene with
The prompt
Rin
list
and
is
Jenny.
actually out, which is nice. It's actually pretty fun this year. But
I know.
day 1 is music or poetry. Day 2 is prophecy or cursed. Day 3 is fashion or heirlooms. Day 4 is mate, companionship, or family. Day 5 is shapeshifter or masquerade. Day 6 is spring court, after dark, or community collabs. And day 7 is free day / AUs.
Okay, well,
Oh.
at least give me some ideas.
So, Maddie, community collabs.
Mm-hmm.
We should do something. If you want to do an art, I could make a fic.
Actually, I'm really liking that idea with the poetry. I'll just use some of the stuff that I've already written. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
make a
Court
little
After
one
Dark.
shot. Use my own. After dark
It's
will
an
be fun.
NSFW prompt for community collabs. Spring
You know
Court
what?
After Dark, NSFW.
I think that'll be a great way to practice writing
Class.
smut.
Uh-huh.
Right? Or drawing smut. You could also draw it.
I do Witch of the Woods, I do TIA, do a few of my other things on there. So hopefully, you read them, you enjoy it, comment, kudos always goes a long way.
Yes.
Mhm.
They are very good and they are very in depth, and we love it.
Right. Well, yep. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.